Hello out there, my amazing PTG community. I hope you guys are doing phenomenal. We have an amazing show for you guys today with the one and only Scott Kemp, who really dropped a lot of knowledge. We had a lot of fun, and just a great person, great paintball player, and really helps us visualize how we can be the best versions of ourselves on this show. This show is brought to you by Savage Paintball. Absolutely loving these paintball boards. It's a magnetic paintball field board that helps you visualize the paintball field in a unique and powerful way. Visualization is so key in sports. I know that it's a huge tactic that I use to be the best that I can be. I gotta visualize the field, visualize the shots, and it allows me to be the best paintball player I can be. These are custom designs with your favorite logo. You can have anything on there. You can put your team logo, or you can pick up an awesome PTG, play the game logo board as well. There's limitless possibilities for what you can do with these things. It's the greatest tool for tournament layout visualization. When I'm getting ready for a tournament, I have to know all of the shots, all of the gaps that I have to get by, who can shoot those gaps. And this tool allows me to hone in on those opportunities for movement, opportunities for opponents to shoot me, and how they can move and navigate the field. So I've been using this, and it's amazing to be able to look at field layouts. Obviously, with COVID, it's been kind of crazy. We haven't had any tournaments, but I can't wait to finally implement this once we do have some. It's got awesome magnetic technology that keeps the bunkers in place. On the bottom of each bunker, there's a magnet, and it magnetizes to the metal board below, and it has the gridded layout for you, so you have really cool fields there. You'll always be able to see the field in your house when you have it set up, so you'll always have paintball on your mind, which is the goal for me. I know I always want to be thinking about how I can be a better paintball player, and visualization is absolutely fundamental for my success. You can hold it up, and you can see all of the angles if you hold the board up by your face, and you can look down all the gaps. And if you want to take it to the next level, you can even purchase a laser pointer, not included, and you can use like the laser pointer to look at all the angles and see where the shots would be, which is kind of a way of super nerding out on it. And I love that because I'm just a big nerd and I love paintball. So any edge that I can give myself, I'm going to take. The paper field layouts are out. Savage boards are in. You can go to savagepaintball.com and pick up a board now. If you use code PLAYTHEGAME, you will get 10% off on any custom boards. So go over there, check that out. Huge shout out to the owner. He's an amazing guy, great people over there, and we just want to support paintball, and this is a great way to do it. The show is also brought to you by G2 Paintball. I'm rocking a G2 Paintball shirt right now for all the YouTubers. Head over to our YouTube. It's Play the Game, and you can check that out. Also got the Pro Tour belt in the back here hanging up on my mirror. You can see that. This is a paintball athletics company, one of the best in the world at what they do. Victor Gamboa and Rusty Glaze are outstanding individuals, and they came up with this amazing concept designed to help you become the best paintball athlete you can possibly be. Athleticism in paintball is fundamental. If I'm not athletically at 100%, I'm not going to be able to perform for coach, perform for my organization, and get those wins on the board. You have to be the best athlete at the highest level if you're going to compete and win tournaments. So that's what this company does. G2 Paintball is taking training, and they're using it to maximize performance on and off the field. You're going to be feeling great in normal everyday life, as well as when you step on that field to get those big points for your team. Used by Dynasty, we implement these training tactics into our programs, and obviously it helps us out tremendously, helps us be the best athletes we can be. They're pushing paintball players to become better athletes and go pro in the industry, which is what we want to do. That is the dream. We want to have pro paintball players that are coming and trying to take our jobs. You know, someday we're going to get old and we need new pros to come up, and we want to build the biggest, strongest pro divisions that we possibly can. G2 is doing that. Head on over to g2paintball.com and you can check them out and take your athleticism to the next level. Last but not least, the show is brought to you by the one and only Transfuse. I am addicted to Transfuse. I'm not ashamed to say it. This stuff is amazing. The flavors are off the charts. Legitimately, I crave these flavors. They're so good. It is a premium rapid hydration multiplier and immunity fortifying formula scientifically designed to replenish at the cellular level. They use all natural ingredients, so it is good for you. You know, I'm a huge proponent of the things that are in the products. It has to be good for you. It has to be natural, and it has to be something that's going to, you know, take my health to the next level and not hurt me. So I use Transfuse every day. I drink it to stay hydrated, and especially with COVID, it helps with immunity. And also, it's got a brain boost, which I can definitely use sometimes. So it's a great product. It combats dehydration, mental exhaustion, supports your immune system, and is also a sweet hangover remedy. If you like to have a couple brews, maybe a couple too many, you can have some Transfuse and it'll help you feel better. It is loaded with some zinc, which is an essential vitamin in regulating immunity, treating the common cold, and it improves brain function and memory, which we can all use. I know that I've been using this stuff, and it really truly makes me feel like a whole new person. I feel hydrated and I feel mentally sharp when I'm ready to play paintball. Used it in Pro Tour and felt spectacular using it out there, and I will not stop saying how good it makes you feel. It's really some special stuff. Speaking of that, Transfuse also has 6 milligrams of vitamin B6 to help lower cholesterol, boost brain function, and aids in helping your body just feel tremendously well. It has 1,500 milligrams of vitamin C, which is a super boost for your immunity, and it is used by athletes, festival goers, first responders, military service, and people recovering from or trying to prevent the cold. It's like Gatorade, Pedialyte, coconut water, emergency, had a little baby, and this little baby is just kicking ass out there and having a good time. We love Transfuse. We support Transfuse, and if you have the opportunity to try it out, you will see the difference in your game. Excuse my language, I just get hyped up when I talk about Transfuse. So we absolutely love this stuff. If you want to check it out, go to translabs.com. That is translabs.com. You will get 10% off when you use the code PLAYTHEGAME. Go over there, give it a check out, and you can also see all of the information about it as well. Huge shout out to all the guys at Transfuse. We love you, and thank you so much. And thank you for supporting the show. We have an amazing show with Scott Kemp, and we hope you love it. Let's get into it and have some fun. Thank you, guys.
That was an insane inside move by Marcelo Margot. Great communication.
And the crowd starts chanting Harmon.
Great shot by all the guys. Tyler Harmon saved that game.
He came out with 2 wins. Marcelo Margot was on fire.
Scotty K, baby. We got him in the building. Finally made it on the show, dude.
Yeah, baby.
What up, man?
Scotty.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Dude, we're honored. Thank you for coming on, dude. How's it been out there? I know you live in Southern California, in the same vicinity as Marcelo. What's going on out there?
Slowly getting back to life out here. Things are opening up progressively a little faster. I'm in San Diego, so things are kind of opening up down here a little faster than a lot of other towns and states. But literally just got back to work this week. Personal training at a gym down in Mission Beach, and I just came back on Monday. So it's been a rebuild. Lost almost all my clients. A lot of people are scared to come back. So
really,
oh
my
but
gosh.
At least I got a job. A lot of people don't have a job to come back to. So
well, not only do you have a job, but you crush it in your line of work. For everybody that doesn't know, Scott Kemp does personal fitness, and he's one of the best in the world at it. I know Dynasty, we all use, we pick your brain and use a lot of your tactics to train. If you're in the area, be sure to hit Scott up and get dialed in with your physical training.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, and you work at one of the nicest gyms in San Diego. That gym fit is insane. It's literally right on the beach with that outdoor turf area that overlooks the water. That place is sick.
Yeah, it's rad. You guys got to come in. It's a $35 million build out is what they spent.
Oh my God.
We've only been open for a year. We opened August of last year, so almost a year now. And we've been shut down for 4 months.
35 M's?
35 M's, baby.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's
wow, that's an expensive gym. And like Marcelo said, it's right on the water. It's crazy. I've seen some videos, and if you can, go to Scott Kemp's Instagram at Scott Kemp.
Too. Lots of babes in there.
Oh yeah. That's Pacific Beach for you,
That is. Yeah. Pacific Beach has a little
good.
Yeah, busy, man.
Go ahead,
Miss
Marshall.
paintball. Yeah, no. We miss paintball. Obviously, we miss playing. the real paintball game, but we've been playing the game over here.
Yeah,
We've been playing the podcast.
I was just with Ryan earlier today. He said those regional events that were supposed to go down have been pulled,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all that's really scheduled is Cup.
Yep.
If we're lucky, you know what I
If
mean?
we're
And that's
lucky,
not
dude.
even a guarantee, huh?
Yeah.
Ah,
We're actually, should we drop this news? We got someone that's going to come on and shed some light. I don't know.
yeah, absolutely. It's pretty awesome. We're actually gonna have Tom Cole on next week.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get some information about that, because a lot of people are in limbo, but I know the league's in limbo too, dude. I mean, with stuff reopening and then you seeing everything get rolled back, it's got to be hard for a league owner that is trying to plan an event where there's thousands of people to really get a gauge on whether or not they can do that. Because teams need 6 weeks to 2 months ahead of time to book flights, plan hotels, get time off work. So it's tough, man. It's really tough. I originally heard that they were going to remove those regional events and have one big event, not World Cup. So one big event before World Cup,
Right.
the same weekend that Chicago was supposed to be, and they were going to do it in Texas instead of doing the 3 separate regionals. And then now I'm hearing that they're not going to do that and just maybe hope to count on World Cup. It's wild, man. There's so much uncertainty right now. So,
and obviously safety is number one, right? So we got to make sure that everyone's safe. It's been a pretty brutal year, I would say, on so many aspects.
Yeah.
So we just got to stand firm, keep training hard. I know that, Scott,
But
you're
a lot
always
of
working.
fields are open, so that's cool. At least we can play.
Right.
Just
totally
we haven't had team practice since Vegas.
Yeah, I know,
So
man.
we haven't been able to get the guys together. We have some fields open, but our home field that we're playing at Pendleton is still not open. Probably not going to open the rest of the year. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really tough for them because they're on the military base. So the military says, why would we allow anyone to come in that's not absolutely necessary and possibly, infect the masses? But, that's a good point, Scott. A lot of the fields are open. We've been going to paintball fields. And again, I'm part of this problem, definitely trying to do better, but paintball players need to do a little better when we're at these fields with the social distancing and trying to look. The last thing that we want is for a major outbreak to get sourced back to a paintball field or a small tournament. That would just crush the sport. It would crush that field. It would crush the players. So we just got to do our best. I'm glad that stuff's opening and I advocate being outside and exercising and doing it safely and just making sure you're taking the right precautions so that we can try to get back to some normalcy. I mean, it's wild, dude. There's no absolutely correct formula right now, but
Oh, man.
They trace back to where cases come from. So we just San Diego opened up restaurants and bars for maybe 2 months were open, and then they all just got restricted and closed back down. And the reason why is because they found that a lot of cases were coming from restaurants and bars. So they're able to see when people come in and they get tested and they have COVID, they trace back and they contact other people that have it, who they were with, and they pinpoint where these outbreaks are coming from. And because restaurants and bars have been high cases of spreading the virus, they got regressed. So I'm in the gym industry and the fitness industry. The fitness facilities in California have not been shut down because there hasn't been very many cases linked to the spread of that in the gyms. As much as you would think that, hey, this is a high germ area, because of the restrictions that California regulates that you have to abide by in the fitness facilities, it's been working. So to give you an idea of what we have to go through, we close every 90 minutes. We kick everybody out every 90 minutes to clean for 30 minutes. So all staff is deep cleaning. We hired even more staff to help clean. All of the mats and the foam rollers and items that you would stretch on and touch physically, we have a clean section for those. And after you use one, you drop it in a drop box that gets sanitized and cleaned, just like at the grocery store when you have your shopping cart, right? It gets cleaned before the next person.
Good, man.
We cut down the max occupancy. Everybody has to the gyms have to limit to 25% of the max occupancy. So when you think of a gym's usually a big facility because you have so much equipment. So it's already pretty spread out. Now you take the max occupancy and you cut that into a quarter. It's pretty spread out when you're filled up with your max limit now. So
Yeah.
because these are minimum requirements that gym and fitness facilities have to abide by, the cases have not been coming from gyms and fitness facilities. So we have not been shut down, nor have any other gyms and fitness centers yet. But that's not a guarantee. Things
Yeah.
can turn around. But as of now, it's been looking good for us.
Yeah. Yeah. So don't
Yeah,
be afraid to go work out, guys. Just do the right things and
And
get
that's the
out there and
thing is
have
like,
fun. Yeah.
there's no guarantee. You
Of
can get it
course.
anywhere. So
Yeah.
I lost a ton of clients that don't feel comfortable coming back, and I respect that. And I'm not going
Of
to
course.
pressure you to say, "Hey, it's safe.
Yeah.
Come on in," because I can't promise you won't get it.
Yeah.
I can tell you what
Totally.
we're doing, but
Mhm.
you can get it anywhere. So if you don't feel
That's right.
comfortable going to the gym, don't go to the gym.
Yeah.
But at your own
yeah. You
risk.
know, you bring up a good point though, Scott, and it's kind of a sense of community. It's really awesome your gym's taking those extra precautions. Our gym personally is not closing down every 90 minutes to do the cleaning. I've heard a lot of gyms are doing that. But they are taking a lot of precautions for the people that are in there, and the people that are in there, you see them doing their absolute best. After every time they get off the machine, they go and get the little sanitizer, they wipe
Yeah,
down their machines. Everyone's wearing their mask in the gym. And stuff like that really does help prevent the spread of it. And, there's so many people that are denying wearing masks and things like that. I
Dude,
kind of
there's a
understand
mask.
their argument, but
It's a mask war that's
yeah,
going
yeah,
it is. But you look at the other countries that are doing well with this, and their citizens have a better sense of community, and they wear the mask for
Yeah.
their neighbor, and they're not worried about their own personal liberties. You
yeah.
know, and I'm just saying, as far as the paintball community goes, we should follow those kind of guidelines. Do it for each other, so that these
Totally.
fields don't get closed back down, because
hmm
that's the worst. So many of these field owners truly are just it's a mom and pop little deal.
Yeah.
It's a family
Oh
owned
man.
business often. And,
Yeah.
a lot of them are still, working paycheck to paycheck. They might have a little saved, but they can't afford to be out of business. And, I'm so sad because I just had a FaceTime earlier this morning with one of my good friends, VG from Colombia. VG, Scott, and I think you do too, Ty. He's actually on his way up to the States right now. He's coming to the summer camp, which is amazing. But
Nice.
2 years ago, he bought the only paintball field in Cali, Colombia. And he did a really good job of turning the paintball scene around down there. He got a lot of players very excited to play, and was doing a really good job building the company, building his business. And he just told me that he has to shut down permanently.
Yeah.
Damn.
And
And
that
it's
just happened
sad.
with like Ronnie Dizon was
Yeah, O'Hare
O'Hare
paintball, an
just
indoor
shut down as
field. And
well. So it's
yeah.
had a huge impact on the industry as a whole.
So why did those specific locations get shut down? Was that
Mhm.
regulated through their city or through their?
No, he just couldn't afford to pay the bills anymore.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And
Because business took a hit and they had to shut down.
yeah,
Gotcha.
exactly. And like that's what's going to happen with a lot of these field owners. I've
Yeah.
been to many fields across the nation, and these field owners are by no means millionaires. Some of them are, sure, but a lot of them again are making pretty modest, middle class salaries, which they do well. They're supporting their families, but if that business goes away for months at a time,
Yeah.
it's
How do you
real
survive that?
problematic. It's
And
real problematic. So
and it trickles back to the shops, paintball
Yeah.
totally,
stores.
to the shops, to
They
the
take a
paintball
hit too.
stores, the
People are
manufacturers.
playing less. They're not selling as much equipment. So
Yeah. You're not wrong there. And, Marky's one of my good friends, HK, and he's like, yeah, it's been crazy. We've had to navigate new territories through this whole thing, and bob and weave. That's something me and Marcelo always are advocates of, the bob and weave. You got to maneuver, and he's obviously just a crusher on all aspects. So they're navigating that, but it's been crazy for this paintball industry. Our hearts go out to anybody affected right now. It's been the wildest 6 months of I don't even know how long, but it's been insane. And with community, like we're talking about community and sticking together and supporting each other,
mm,
looking out for our neighbors when we can, like going to the fields, anything we do, let's just look out for each other.
I think the
Totally, man. I
biggest
agree.
thing that um, affects people, they get this misconception that when regulations get lifted and things open up, they all of a sudden feel like, oh, it's no danger anymore, right?
Yeah.
So you see like the bars and restaurants open in San Diego and people are just crammed in there drinking, high-fiving, hugging each other. And it's like, dude, just because the government allowed the bar to
Hey,
open up.
that was only down in PB in your hood at El Perez, dude. That was
Yeah, all over. Yeah. No, but even going off of at the paintball field,
Totally.
I can't tell you how many people when we were at the pro tour. I can't tell you how many people were coming up trying to high five and hug, and I'm like, all right. Like, just because we're allowed to be together in this area, we still shouldn't be risking spreading the germs. People get this misperception of just because they can go somewhere, like it's not there anymore. You still have to take caution, which goes back to what we talked about at the gym. People are taking high caution. They need to do that everywhere else too, because it is still alive.
I agree, and it's, dude, public service and announcement to everyone at Fields, because I'm flying to New York tomorrow, you know, and I'm gonna be at paintball field over the weekend. But
let's go.
You know, I want to give you guys hugs and high fives. You know, I want that, but I also want to protect the people around me. I want to protect the community and stuff like that. So, dude, for now, fist bumps are the way to go, man. Fist bumps are just the way to go. We could sit there and have a good conversation, but yeah, I hear you, Scott. Again, it's for the betterment of paintball. Whether you agree with it or not, the facts are Fields will have to close down, which affects the entire industry. You know,
all I know,
like you said, the trickle down effect. So
the government will shut our ass down quick. You know?
one field comes back from one field, and they're like, "Not 40 over." Like,
that's it. We're canceling the sport.
Yeah, it's illegal.
Cancel culture, baby.
Paintball guns are illegal.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You know, we're in uncharted territories, but that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it exciting. It's a great opportunity for us to show our, you know, what we got, and that we're here for the betterment of the sport and for the culture, and to do the best that we possibly can to keep as clean as we can through all this. Because paintball has a unique opportunity. You know, we're one of the few sports that we can actually social distance pretty effectively with. In that regard, we have a very unique spotlight on us.
We do. I mean, we're not passing a ball around. We're not sharing anything. You know, we do play in masks in a way. I'm not
At
saying
least
that
if you missed out, it's getting the, you know, it's
some
not
of it maybe, you know, it's not going to stop all of it, but yeah, we are, you're right, in a kind of unique spot, but
for sure.
Scotty, so dude, you've been playing professional paintball for a really long time. You're definitely one of the more successful professional players that have ever played. You know, there's a lot of people that have come through the ranks and never even won an event. You've won multiple world championships. You've done it with different teams. You've started a business for yourself. You've overcome injuries. You've really done a lot of amazing things in the sport. You've taken your success in the sport and utilized it in business outside of the sport. We want to talk about all that, you know, and it all kind of starts with your first time playing paintball, playing the game, and how you got into it. What was that like? When did you first play?
And don't forget about Mr. PB. I was there when he won that tournament. This guy, right?
Yeah, I was going to talk about it. Yeah, Mr. I-10.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, we're gonna get there. Don't worry, Mr. I-10.
So,
yes. Where do we begin?
Yeah, right.
12 years old,
first day in the field, baby.
The infamous birthday party.
The infamous birthday party. 12 years old, and
it was you and Travis Szymanski.
It was we were just hooked from that moment on. So
what was that day like? What happened out there?
It was my buddy's birthday. We were 12, 13 years old, middle school. You know, went out got rental guns and did the whole deal. And it was this field called Fields of Fire, and it was pretty cool actually.
Tight.
Walk-on field that had huts, and there were underground tunnels.
What?
Well. Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. Like you
that's scary.
You can take the high ground, or you can go in you gotta split up your squad.
The termites.
Make sure that people take the termite ground, because people can backdoor you through the termite tunnels.
Oh my god.
Awesome.
It's pretty gnarly, and it's like dark and cold and scary down there. So
oh god.
And I'm like 12 years old. We're just having a blast shooting people. But we went out and played, and myself and my other buddies that we were all in middle school were like, this is so much fun. We want to just play every weekend. So my dad loved it, and we had a big van that we would have sleepovers, and he would drive us to the field, and we would rent gear or start buying, you know, little equipment here, spiders and whatnot. and play at the local fields. Close Encounters was my local field that we started going to, and then yeah, you get addicted and you want to keep getting better and better, and it's a community because you're playing with your friends and family. So my brother would play with me, my dad would play a little bit too, on the big walk-on fields, and then
Heck yeah.
it was a weekend event that you would just look forward to. We would go to our local store down the road, and at the time we had VHS players and tapes, and they would have videos, and they'd have Push and all these old school videos. Trauma Head Sports.
Oh yeah.
Watch these games. You would watch these, and you're just you fall in love with tournament paintball, and you're like, wow, like these guys are so good. Like SC Village is this famous staple in Southern California. It's like, we got to go to SC Village. And so
Giovanni is a legend for what he did in Southern California paintball,
And so once we could start driving at about 16, 17 years old, we would start going out to SC, and we would watch. It was cool because in this era, there would be pro and amateur teams, and you can watch them all play. So you would go out, I'm a rookie player at the time, and I would go play with my friends. And then half of the day we would spend just watching all the pros, and they're right there in your home field. Yeah. And it was so cool because you're just learning and watching them. And it's like those experiences aren't very often anymore. It's like you share one field and you don't get much playing time anymore. And it was such a different beast.
Hold on, I think Scott
Scott's got a dog in there.
Yeah.
He's gonna
Oh
my god! Oh my god!
Hold on, for our listeners, Scott Kemp's dog is on the table right now. Go to YouTube. Be sure to check in here. He's got this squeaky toy that the dog is going out. Man. Go to the Play the Game YouTube and log in.
I saw you like kind of getting a little like frantic. You were paying attention to something, and then I could see in the reflection of that picture you have behind you, like a dog coming up on the table.
You can't write this.
No, you can't make this up. His name's Moose.
Shout out to Moose.
Hey, Moose, baby, Moose. Hey, for all you don't know, Lord Moose is the king of all moonwalkers. Shout out to Big Moose, dude.
Yeah, Big
He's
Moose,
from
dude.
Original Hostile Kids, and we're gonna get into that here soon too. But yeah, Moose is a legend in the game. He used to run with like the Hostile Kids in the 2000s.
Aftermath OG too, brother. Aftermath OG.
Yeah.
So,
dude, shout out to your dog Moose. We were just sending tons of love his way.
So we start going to SC Village, and that's where we meet the Hostile Kids. So at the time, a lot of people don't know is HK Army started from a team called Hostile Kids. And at the time, there was an amateur team called Hostile Takeover, and they were a 10-man squad. Yeah. They started a kids team called the Hostile Kids. This was their kids team, their feeder team. And the core group of the guys were Scott Crescent, Mark Crescent, Steve Nobby, Jay Panetta, Josh Myers. And so Brandon Ford, all the guys that run HK Army now, that was their squad. And my crew that came from Close Encounters in LA, it was myself, my brother, Bobby Avilas, Vinny Palmieri, who doesn't play anymore.
Shout out to Galore. Your brother's
Galore.
The best.
Yeah, dude.
And we were all the same age group, and just coming up through rookie paintball, playing the local Pan Ams and stuff, and we formed together. So they're building this 10-man team, and we started playing with them and joined forces, and it was a perfect mesh. These are kids from Orange County, we're the kids from LA, and we would come together and meet at SC Village in Corona on the weekends and start grinding.
What year was that?
So this was 2001, 2002, 2003. Yeah. And so it was, paintball was so different back then. It was so cool. There was a ton of fields, a ton of teams. It was just an all-day event where you just get together, whether you have practice with your team or you're just showing up for the day, you're going to have a blast.
Dude, that's something real
going on.
Real quick. I just want to interject on that, Scotty, because you're right, dude. Back in the day, if you didn't have practice, you were still at the field. Like it felt like
Yeah.
all the people playing, they were there every weekend,
That's
no
right.
matter what.
Yeah.
Like just for the love of playing pickup games, street ball, which
Yeah.
HK
Yep.
does now. HK is so awesome for bringing that back, but that's what it was about, just playing paintball, playing the game as often as possible with your friends.
Yeah. And so we're out there grinding, playing, rookie tournaments, local events, put our money together and go out to World Cup and, play whatever tournaments we can get into. And then we ended up getting on a team called Platinum at the time. They were sponsored by Dye. And this is when X-Ball started up. So they wanted to join forces and bring on new players. So they picked up all of us. So Platinum is an amateur team at the time. What's D2 it would be, like Division 2. And so we're going to play all the PSP NXL events as well as 7-man and travel around with them. And at the time you have a huge squad too, because in X-Ball you roll deep with 15, 20 guys because the game.
It was crazy back in the day. So you came in with a platoon.
Yeah. And so we played a year with them. And then the Ironmen, now that was in 2003. Now the Ironmen are going to rebuild. And for 2004, they're looking to pick up young new talent. And they are having a huge tryout. And it was kind of an open tryout, kind of an invite. At the time, Zizek Barrow was on the team, and he invited myself, Bobby Avila's, Brandon Short, who we ended up joining forces with. He kind of just showed up out of nowhere and weaseled his way in. He didn't come from LA or he was right in the middle in Palos Verdes.
Brandon made a splash on the scene fast, I feel like. I feel like he started playing and then got good really quick.
So Brandon went from rookie to pro, which is pretty
cool. No way.
So
I did not know that.
The story that I just told you guys was a 3-year transition of playing tournament paintball until I went pro. I played a year of rookie, novice, amateur, and then went pro, which is still fairly quick. But Brandon, literally his first year playing rookie with us in 03, and then we went pro in 04.
Jeez.
Not a lot of people did that.
Dude, what a beast.
No, not at all.
Wow.
Too. And
so, he also, if I might add, started one of the dopest lines ever with PB Fashion and all that. Oh, wait, Short.
No.
Short.
Yeah. Brandon Short.
Yeah.
I was going to say, okay, this makes more sense. I was like, hold on. Brandon Fort? Brandon Fort?
No.
Yeah, Brandon Fort is one of the owners of HK Army, but he was talking about Brandon Short. Okay.
Yeah.
Their names
Short,
similar.
pretty much the same.
So the Ironmen in 2004 have a huge open tryout. Somewhat of an invitation. Zizek invites myself and a few other guys out, and it was a month-long tryout. They started with about 40 guys. I remember some of the BKI, some of the X Factor guys came out, like Grayson and Ryan Brand at the time. He was playing still, and every weekend they would chop the roster down lower and lower and lower. And at the end of about 40 plus guys, they ended up picking up about 5 or 6 at the final tryout. I ended up making the team along with Brandon Short, Paul Caddick, Bobby Avila's, Jules Foote, Stephen Pitts.
People have no clue who Jules Foote is these days, dude. Totally. And Stephen Pitts, dude. Stephen Pitts. My God,
and
man.
Stephen brother.
Nice.
So we joined this team. Now this is a rebuilt Ironman team with a few of the core guys that's still there, such as Catfish, Billy Wing, Shane Pistana is coaching.
Legend.
So now we got a pretty cool team of young, raw, hungry talent, and then some seasoned vets.
That's what you need right there.
Yeah, and then a great coach, Shane Pistana.
Yeah. One of the best in the history of the paintball game, in my opinion. Yeah, Shane is complete.
To me, Shane is the Phil Jackson of paintball.
Yeah.
And you got to understand how much Marcelo loves the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the
Well,
Bulls.
yeah, Phil Jackson was also the coach of the Bulls. He was the coach of
Yeah.
Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant,
That's
and so
right.
Shane
Yep.
Pastana, same thing.
Yeah.
He dealt with the best paintball players to, ever play the game, really, and
Seriously.
he did it in
Yeah.
multiple eras. So
No, he'll bring out the best in you, and he's a really cool dude off the field too. I love.
Yeah,
Yeah, everybody, if you can, find Push on the internet. It's a video called
yeah.
Push, and go watch Push because it has tons
YouTube.
of Shane Pastana, Rocky Cagnoni, legends, Chris Lasoya. Shout out to Chris Lasoya one time on our intro. I mean, just shutting it down. Thank you so much, Chris.
Yeah.
I heard that part. So this is 2004, first year playing pro, and we're with the Ironman, and it's a weird year because they just started X Ball where each event is not a tournament; it's a placing to get seeded for the World Cup, and then the World Cup is like the event, which was silly.
It was crazy, dude.
You get four prelim games, and then you go home.
Yeah.
And
so it was like glorified practice is the best way
really
I could
was.
like.
And these games were like an hour long, uncapped. It was like who has a good Revy, or Halo, who has a good Halo to feed another.
That's right.
And you guys were getting worked at that time.
Yeah, we weren't too hot. So
that was with Legacy.
No,
the Ironman.
The Ironman. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, we weren't the worst team. We were like 5th from the bottom.
No, Ultimate was the worst team.
We were better than Legacy. So talking about Legacy, that brings me to my next story. Now that we're rolling into 2005. So Legacy was also competing in 04. They were like the sister team of the Ironman.
That's right.
New Dye sponsored. Actually, they're sponsored by Proto, which was Dye's company, no longer around. And they ended up picking up all the HK guys that didn't make the Ironman.
Yeah.
So they had a lot of these Orange County guys, like LJ and Ryan Martin, and a lot of the Platinum guys that didn't make the Ironman. And then they picked up, Marky and Scotty and all these other guys. So it was kind of like the Hostel kids, the 10-man team that we were all rookie together. We're split up now, and we're on 2 different pro teams that are towards the bottom ranking.
You're right.
But it's cool because we're all, playing at the pro division, and we're all
right.
And young, dude, Yeah, the ceiling was really high for both those teams.
And so
you guys were the youngest team in the league. I mean, you guys were like the up and coming, like the Hostile Kid movement was born in there.
Absolutely. We were all 18, 19 years old. So at the end of the year, Legacy wants to pick up all of us, all the kids, and take all the kids over to Legacy. And the way we see it is like, this is pretty cool. This is an opportunity to get the band back together.
Yeah.
All the Hostel kids back together and at a sponsored division where we're playing at pro and we're fully sponsored. And like, that's like the dream, right? That's what we wanted to do when we were younger, but we all got picked apart. So it was a cool opportunity and it sounded great, except we're too young. We have no leadership. We just had talent and a bunch of wild animals.
Dude, can you explain what it was like at that time playing with the Hostile kids?
It was hostile.
Now we're playing in 7-man and X Ball, and we're full sponsorship. We're practicing every weekend, or we're playing a tournament every weekend. Unlimited paint sponsorship, unlimited everything. We have no leadership. We had a man named Doc who could not control that. We had Gary Shows who could not control himself.
Dude, some of the one-liners that Gary would drop during the games, I'll never forget, dude. Some of the funniest things I've ever heard. He's like, "You just don't get it, do you, Ryan?" Like yelling at his son, "You just don't get it, do you?"
And we're traveling around, and like I said, the rosters are 15 to 20. We're traveling around with all of us. We had 18 people on Legacy. We had 3 lines. They were colored. So we had a black line, a red line, and a blue line. And each line had 6 guys. That's how heavy of a roster, which is kind of cool. You roll around with a squad of almost 20 people to tournaments, which is pretty badass.
Tight. Yeah, it is.
Now there's no point in doing that because the games are so much shorter. But at the time, the games were long enough.
And there wasn't like we have split deck now. This whole split deck thing is kind of like made it to where you don't need that kind of depth, and the length of the games as well are a lot shorter these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Stinks. Boo.
we have a brutal year with Legacy because there's just no leadership, a bunch of hungry raw talent, and
Yeah.
we can't put a game plan together for the life of us. We're all 18, 19 years old, and
Yeah.
everybody just going at each other's
Dude,
throats, and
it was bananas.
it was bananas. And to be honest, myself and Brandon Short took it more serious than anybody else, and we really, really wanted to not
Yeah.
just be in the pro division. We wanted to dominate and be the best we can be. And him and I practiced harder than anybody on the team. We took practice really serious more than anybody. We would be training off the field, and we wanted to be the best we can be. And the other guys just wanted to be there and just have fun, and it was more of a party for them. And it showed. And so by the end of the year, this is our second year playing pro, and we're like, man, we're sick of getting our ass kicked, and we're taking this more serious than the other guys. And we both got offers to go to other teams that are now prevailing. So at the time, the Ironmen rebuilt from the roster they lost, and they improved their roster a ton. And they wanted to get Brandon Short back on the team.
Yeah.
And Rusty Glaze was on Excessive at the time, and he reached out to me, and he wanted to get me onto Excessive. Now,
Nice.
Excessive at the time was thriving. This team
Powerhouse.
was stacked, and they had so much talent, and they were winning, and they had so much potential in front of them. And for me to come onto that team as my third year playing pro, it was like, yeah, I need to take this opportunity because there's so many guys to learn from. You had, just to go off some of the guys, you had Matty Marshall, Rich Telford, Thomas Taylor, John Richardson, Davey Williams, Nicky Cuba, Rusty Glaze,
Neil
Eberly, Glenn Takamoto, Dave Baines.
Oh boy,
dude,
those last
Legends,
three, yeah.
Carl
And the
McCaffrey.
first three, and then the
And
middle.
well, I mean, the whole team.
the whole
You
team,
guys,
yeah.
you guys were
That's-
the only team that could battle Dynasty at the time. I mean, those were the
Exactly.
big days. Those were the
Exactly.
days that everybody remembers.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So I get asked to come out, actually to try out, because half the guys have never even seen me play. Rusty was the one that wanted to get me on the squad. I ended up making the team, and we're playing 7-man. We have 2 7-man pro teams, so I'm on one of them, and then we're playing X ball, and I'm playing really well. And right away, I have a starting position on both X ball and 7-man. We go into our first event. It was that Texas event that snowed. It was like a fluke.
Oh God,
and,
dude, that was when Chris Lasoya executed that guy.
Yeah, it was
out there. Dude, that was crazy.
We ended up placing,
he was on Oakland. He was on my team.
That was bad. Ended up placing third place and got playing time there. And it was like that event just opened my eyes. Like, okay, I can hang with these guys. This is I'm on a podium right now, and I'm getting game time. Like with the right guys around me, I can hang in the pro division and I can win. And so it was like a huge confidence boost. Then we go into Huntington Beach and play 7-man, and we get third place, and our other team gets first, and Dynasty got second. So now it's like, all right, this squad is serious. And that whole year was amazing. It was such a learning experience by just soaking up everything I can from all those guys. And it was my first pro win. We won Chicago Open, which was the middle events, where I got a ton of playing time. And that was like, hell yeah, all right.
Yeah.
All this hard work is paying off, and I finally won a pro event where I had a big part in it. So that was like when you start to build your confidence and know, like,
yeah.
So going to that,
I think that was the year I met you, 2006.
Yeah.
That's a standout year for you, dude. Like that's where things really, I mean, you really made a name for yourself at that time, and it showed, man.
And I got to give it to like all the guys around me, because if I was to stay with Legacy, right, I'd be, an all-star on a poor team and just spinning my wheels. So like making that move, it was the best opportunity for me career-wise.
You and Short were a couple of the guys that like are on the forefront of really training hard for paintball. You guys are like a couple of the dudes that started that trend, Now everybody works out for paintball, but before it was just like you said, like a couple guys on the team or one guy, would be training hard for paintball.
Yeah. And at the time there was like paintball had such such potential to where
Yeah.
we're not even 20 years old yet, and we're like, all right, we're gonna make a full-time living off of this. We're gonna travel the world and we're just gonna be pro paintballers. And
Yeah.
that was an opportunity. That was a vision in reach. Now it's like
Yeah.
you have to have a job outside of paintball. But when I first went pro, it was like, hey,
You don't
I'm a
have to. You can make paintball work. It's just very difficult. Very
Yeah.
difficult.
you're you're making a job inside of paintball, like, right?
Okay,
So
Yeah.
it's
fair
like
enough.
you're
Yeah, absolutely.
you're doing
Absolutely.
clinics and you're doing, all the work that you guys are doing. It's still a job outside. I'm talking
For
about
sure.
where
Absolutely. Fair
I'm
enough.
talking about the
Just a
people
player
that
salary.
just get a salary just to play
Totally.
paintball,
Absolutely.
um,
Mhm.
which was something like in reach, but now we're not at that point again.
Yeah.
Totally
Some
agree.
guys get it with teams
No, but
outside
they
of
but
thing.
but it's still not even, you're talking like 60 grand at the most. I
Right.
mean, what you're not
And
gonna do much with that, to be
I'm
fair.
talking an opportunity to where you have a sponsor that's just paying you directly. Like, a snowboarder gets a check from Red Bull to
Yeah.
just ride for them. Like, we
Yeah.
were in reach of getting those kind of contracts, and now we're not. And the guys that are making checks are more so from a personal owner, from a team or whatnot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um, but, anyways, getting off track.
So what do you think is gonna? I mean, what do you think's going on with paintball, man? Where do you see us going?
Well,
We got to navigate this COVID, obviously, like that's step one. And then I think that once we can get through this, I think things are going to be booming better than they ever have, because paintball right now has more energy than it's had in a long time.
mhm,
It's and we were just getting so powerful too. Like in
Right.
the end of 2019, everybody's like, "This is life. This is
yeah,
the best thing I've ever we've ever lived in." And then this whole virus thing just really has just done something, man.
yeah. I mean, obviously that's taking a hit on the industry, but it's taking a hit on every industry in the world.
Yeah,
Almost every, and some are thriving, but most
yeah,
are hurting from it. But um, the fact that people love playing paintball, no matter what division or what
yeah,
format, people enjoy it, whether it's their first time or whether it's their 9,000th time. It's fun,
yeah.
and people have a blast to play. And people also do like watching it, and it's entertaining. But
Yeah.
in order for it to grow, I believe that we need to do a better job of showing the world our sport for free. We have
Ah,
to give out free content of these matches, of the webcasts, um, of what it's all about, and that will get views, and that will get outside endorsements, and that will get people excited to go play a sport that they've never played before.
you're not wrong, man. And that's kind of like a philosophy of life, in my opinion. You kind of got to give it away to receive. That's kind of how I've always navigated my life. It's like, if I really believe in something, I should, you know, give it away. And if it's meant to be, it'll reciprocate and become what it's going to be, and then you can start to capitalize, right? But you gotta get it in the water. You gotta get people drinking the water, and people got to see paintball. That's key number one.
Yeah,
Yeah. Absolutely. It's definitely something that we're trying to do. And in the same token, I do understand charging, and I'm going to support all day for those fees, because it's really, when you look at it in the big picture, it's not that much money to pay $10 or whatever to have a database of paintball. But I do agree, if we could get a big broadcasting station that is going to get some advertising money, or I don't know how they would
I,
do
I
it,
think
but
there's I think there's pretty good ways you could accomplish both. You can have the prelims and maybe even the first round of Sunday be free to the public, and then you charge for the finals the same
yeah,
price. Or you release all of the games a week after the event.
there you go.
There's ways you could accomplish both, because I understand that the league, well, not the league, sorry, Go Sports, they need to be able to pay their employees and
Of
fund
course.
all the new stuff that they're doing. And I do agree, Ty. I'm on the same page that I think if you gave it away for free, you would eventually get enough numbers and viewers to where you can get the money to make those salaries. Um, but you do need to be able to pay for it in the meantime, which is
Got to
it's
have
a
the
tough
dollar bills,
conundrum.
baby.
It's a tough conundrum.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure, more people that could see our sport, obviously. But we got a little off track though, Scotty. I would like to dive back into your story. I
yeah.
was there's stuff that I didn't even realize yet, so I love it. I love hearing
Yeah, I know.
this.
This is crazy.
Yeah, so excessive, great year, third year into playing pro. Unfortunately, that team, so Excessive was sponsored by an energy drink called Excess Energy Drink.
Oh yeah.
And the owners of it would travel with us. They were pretty well off. They would take us to cool dinners and shows, and
They were the first Bart. They were the first Blonsky. You
yeah.
know.
And so they were
Oh, I'm
promising.
sorry, Yakimek.
They were
I was like, what?
Bart Blonsky. Shout out to the Blonsky brothers.
Shout out.
They're promising big bucks to a lot of our star players, and you heard my roster was
Right.
pretty stacked at the time, right? So
Oh yeah.
a lot of these guys are halfway through or even on their tail end of their career, and they live off of paintball at the time, and they can only survive from the checks that they're getting from paintball, and they're promised big contracts. And that's kind of how Excessive was formed, was by cherry picking these all-star players by offering them big money.
Yeah.
And towards the end of the year, the owners of the team were going back on their word and not providing the money that they promised. And so all the big name players started leaving, and they all bounced to other teams. And I don't blame them, and they were pissed, and the team fell apart.
That was crazy times. Yeah.
And so now the year is ending, and I'm like, well, man, they're going to rebuild again, and all that's left is Rich Telford and Thomas.
Yeah.
Now they want to rebuild and pick up all these rookie kids who've never played in pro. And I'm like, do I really want to go through that again? I went through that with Ironman my first year. I went through that with Legacy my second year. I finally had a good year to where I had guys that had more experience than me and started to win, actually won pro events. And now I'm going to go through some rebuilding, and I'm just getting into the beginning of my pro career. I don't want to go through that again.
Yeah.
And so I let Rich and Thomas know, like, I can't go through that rebuild phase again. I wish that team stuck around for several more years because it was such a badass squad, but unfortunately it didn't work out. Now, the last event of that year, World Cup, we rebuilt, and I was going to stick out the end of the year and then decide where I was going to go. The very last event is the World Cup, our very first prelim match. We're playing against the Naughty Dogs. And I remember releasing up from the snake corner to run the highway on the snake, and I tear my ACL, full speed, big twist to turn, because I'm passing the guy in the snake, fully blow out my ACL, and that was it.
Yeah, real quick, I was literally sitting in the stands watching that live, and you're right, it was a time too when you were like one of the most popular players on the scene, because you were one of the younger ones that was really building a name for yourself, starting to dominate on that side of the field. You were someone that I looked up to. I didn't really know you yet, and it was just, you were another young, athletic, professional player, and I literally watched that play happen.
Damn.
Yeah.
Remember that? I was like, man,
it's
devastating.
I remember I'm sprinting full speed from the snake corner, and the 50 snake was hot. So I'm running the half length of a field full speed on the highway. And as I'm coming up to bunker room, I just rotate too much. My right leg locks out, and I twist, and I hear and feel this pop, and everything just gives. And I remember just laying there. They stopped the game. Nikki Cuba had to carry me off the field.
Oh my
I
God.
remember I couldn't walk, and I knew something was bad in my knee, but I remember I was crying, and I was crying not because of the physical pain, but because I knew something's injured bad, and this is going to set me back. And I've just put so many years into something I love, and I'm finally like getting higher and higher and higher up the totem pole. And then it's like everything taken away from me, and I can't even walk at the beginning of the biggest event of the year. And just knowing that feeling, and Marcelo knows that feeling.
Yeah.
It was just devastating, and it just put me in tears.
Yeah.
And
dude, I actually, not to compare anything, that's fucking insane, dude. And I remember, you are such a trooper, dude. You rehabbed, and you've obviously made a comeback. You're playing with Dynasty these days, but it's like you have some will and some fight in you, dude. Like the way that you have been able to recover from that's astounding.
Yeah. And so luckily the season was over, so I had some month to rehab and work on that. And So I had to get full surgery done and work on rehabilitation. And I'm deciding, where do I want to go play? But I'm also deciding, when can I play? What's this looking like? Don't want to push it too fast, but I also am antsy to get back on
Yeah.
the field and play. And it's I remember I was so obsessed with recovery and researching, like, what's the fastest way? How can I recover? What do I need to do? How many times a day do I need to ice? How many times a day do I need to elevate? What kind of foods are going to help with recovery? I was obsessed. My cousin, who's an orthopedic surgeon, I would chat with him, and he was like, damn, you know a lot about the knee anatomy. And I was like, yeah, because I'm trying to get back on the paintball field. And I became obsessed with
Totally,
figuring out
dude.
how
That's
the
what it
hell.
takes.
Yeah. And everything I put in my body was like, I was like so determined to get back onto the field as fast as possible. And so now we're a couple tournaments into that next year. This is 2007 now, and I'm trying to decide where I'm going to go. I might go back to the Ironman where Brandon Short went back to, and Marcelo is currently with. And Aftermath is now a team, and they're playing in semi-pro. But a lot of my good friends are on that team at the time. Bobby Avilas, Kenny Rosenberg, Winston, Joshua Minkowski, but everyone
Moose, baby.
Moose, baby.
Who else is on the team? Steven Pitts, Rainey Stanzak,
Mouse.
Pretty rad team. They're playing semi-pro, looking to go pro the following year. And they wanted to pick me up at the time. And so I saw it as a good opportunity to kind of rehab my knee and not push myself too fast and play with my friends at a local field as well, because they're playing out of San Diego. So I got on Aftermath to help out and, kind of just get through my knee and recovery and play some paintball again. And so we played in the semi-pro 7-man as well as semi-pro X-ball, played through that year. And then at the end of the year, Billy Wing reached out and was like, hey, we want to get you back on the Ironman. You recovered from your injury. You guys got a really good team. The Ironman just won World Cup this year. Marcelo was on that squad. That's 2007. And so now I'm like, okay, this is a stacked team now. They got Oliver is on the team. They got Marcelo, Mouse, but I believe he left when I came on. Brandon Short,
Nicky Cuba, Miko, Billy Wing, Mike Paxson. Dude, we had that squad was insane, man.
So
it
was
was
like,
insane.
all right, this is a great opportunity for me. My knee is fully recovered. This is a great opportunity for me to start winning paintball again and start exploiting my full potential. I don't want to play on a semi-pro team, and they're going to play another year in semi-pro before they go up to pro, and I don't want to stay down in that division. I want to keep thriving and do what I've been determined to do since I was 15 now, So, and I'm about 20, 21.
Win the men's ITAN Man of the Year award.
That was the ultimate, dude. You've never seen him more jacked and tan, dude. He was just out there just shredding.
Give me a year tanning sponsorship. So we'll get to that. So get on the Ironman. Ironman were already on a winning streak because they just came off of a World Cup win. So I get on the squad, super stacked squad, and it's just another opportunity for me to learn a ton. Reminds me of the Excessive Squad, bunch of talent, and just soak it all up. And we're winning. We're winning a ton. And all the guys are rad. So it's just a great team to be.
That was a fun team. That was crazy.
So that was home for a while now. Stuck that out for a while. It was home for several years.
Ironman 2008. Real quick, let's talk about the reason we lost to Aftermath in 7-man. Hold on, dude. I brought this up to you kind of recently, but it was Aftermath's first pro win, which I'm not going to take anything away from them. They played fantastic.
Let's go Aftermath.
But do you remember what happened in the finals of that best of 3 series with the ref?
What event was this? Oh wait, he pulled me for spikes.
No.
So, dude, we were in game 2. I believe we won the first game. I forget. I could be off.
Snitched on. You got snitched on,
look,
dude.
We have played the whole tournament on this field. And then we're in the finals in a best of 3. And it was illegal to wear metal spikes. It still is illegal to wear metal track spikes in your cleats. But when you're
Only
playing
if
on
you get
national
caught.
turf, only if you get caught. So many, that's like I mean, Mouse still wears spikes to this day. And it's funny because I always see him and he looks at me like, oh shit, he knows. He's like, I can only play good when I use my spikes. And I'm like, oh yeah, I see you, bro. Like, I'm not going to say anything, obviously, but you little cheater. But the spikes they're huge, especially on turf, right? And so you had played the whole damn tournament with these things, and we're in the finals. And I was on the same side of the field as you. I remember you're in front of me, and all of a sudden, in the finals, the ref that has been refing us all weekend comes running in, pulls you out, and throws like a major. He pulls you and 2 of us, me and someone else. Takes away our whole Dorito side, and then we just get rolled up, obviously. Like, are you kidding me? How do you do that? How do you do that?
Marcelo just buried you on this thing, bro.
No, dude, this isn't on him, bro. Not at all. This is on the ref. Like, come on, man. You're in the finals.
The ref didn't like the tan. He was jealous.
Yeah, he was jealous of the tan, jealous of the swag. You were going down the field and letting him have it.
We were winning the point. Scott was crushing. He was in the 50s shooting people. Yeah. He was double knee sliding in, and the ref saw his spikes.
I know.
Yeah, those spikes are crucial, though. That they really do change a game.
In 7-man, grass is different, but in 7-man,
they
would roll out. This is when we were playing at football stadium parking lots, and they would roll
Saran wrap
AstroTurf on top of cement, and then it would get slippery from the paint, and like nobody had cleats that would work, but spikes would dig, and especially front, you could dig to those front spots.
Oh yeah.
What's funny is I'm pretty sure I was wearing spikes too. I just didn't get caught.
Yeah.
I mean, we were all wearing them, dude.
Yeah, I think I was too. Like, I would rock spikes because it was like playing on saran wrap with socks. If you didn't have any like spikes, like you're slipping everywhere, and it was crazy.
I remember that. I was in a Dorito and I was on my knees. The back.
Damn it, dude. he tased us, man. I think Hinman paid him off. We're gonna have to have Mike on the show to clarify.
Yeah, for sure.
So we gave that one to Aftermath. And then we won a bunch of 7-man events. And did we win any other X-Ball events besides World Cup that year? I'm trying to think.
No, we didn't.
Just like
we didn't.
We
played.
And then we won World Cup. So Ironman won back-to-back World Cup those years. I was not on the team, but Marcelo got back-to-back. So did Brandon Short, Oliver, Nikki, Pax. And then so Ironman was my home for a while there.
How many years were you with the Ironman?
So from there, I ended up being about 6.
Wow.
6 or 7.
Yeah, it was a while. That was a chunk.
And then I ended up, and so the Ironman kind of got rebuilt throughout those years. Went through a few different phases. We ended up having Skinny Kevin as a coach towards the end there. We ended up picking up some other younger guys like LJ and Ryan Martin, Toke Hamill, CC. So it ended up being a different squad, still a good team, but wasn't top 2 or top 3. We weren't winning events. We were up there. We were contenders.
You guys were always a threat at that point for that rebuild because there was so much talent on the team and veteran leadership with you and Short and Billy was still kind of around. We
couldn't win a tournament, but we could beat anybody.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, totally.
Dude, what's it like being able to play with Short for so long? What a legend that guy is.
It's great. Yeah. So like we always stuck together. We had similar careers, against each other sometimes, but with each other a lot of the times. And we pushed each other a ton. We met at SC Village, in the beginning of our careers. And we were so determined. We had, like I said, through that legacy era, him and I wanted it more than anybody else. And that was the difference why we went so much farther. The other guys ended up retiring early. We just wanted it more. We were hungrier. And so we pushed ourselves to be better and keep grinding and keep practicing.
You hear that out there? Everybody listening? You got to really want it, man. That's how you get it. And look he's still playing top level paintball to this day, and obviously you're one of the more in shape guys in the league as well. And you got to really be hitting on all aspects to attain these goals. And you've been able to crush those goals because you wanted it, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
And so towards the end of my Ironman career, end up going to getting a call in the off season actually from Ryan Brand and getting an offer to go over to X Factor.
Yeah.
And thought about it for a little bit, sat on it for a couple of weeks, and I'm like, you know what? Like, these are all really cool guys. I like them all. They're all my good friends. They're out in Texas.
Shout out to Texas.
They've lost a few players who retired. Their roster's pretty low. They only had about 7 guys when they reached out to me, and this was going to be an opportunity for me to come onto a new team who has experience, who has great talent, who has all the resources to practice as much as we want. And I could step in and have like a leadership role. And I haven't really had much of a leadership role until like the tail end of the Ironman right there. And so I saw it as great potential to help these guys win and win with them. And, these guys are my friends. So I ended up joining the team, still living in San Diego, but flying out to Texas for practice. Beautiful facility. Alex Martinez, the owner, puts so
Dude,
much
what a guy.
He's the man.
Dude, the best dude ever. Shout out to Alex, man. You're really doing big things.
That we would grind it out. Any time those guys want to play, Alex is pushing them to get better and to practice, and whatever you need, he's got you. And it's his family. He helps mentor all those kids on and off the field. Such a cool camp. I'm a huge X Factor fan. And so,
who was your road dog through all that? Like, who's your favorite teammate?
It was always Grayson, because I would end up sleeping at his place. He would pick me up. And then we also worked on BKI together. So he was the founder.
You guys are the godfathers. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
right, you guys are.
Created it, and then he got me
major shout out.
Yeah. And so X Factor was a great opportunity for me. And I loved, I'm glad I came onto that squad. The first year we came on, we won the last Huntington Beach tournament, 7-man event. Which I never got to win a Huntington. It was always Dynasty, snagging them all away.
Yeah.
And so we won the last one. That was really cool.
Tight.
And then we won World Cup. And that was a huge event too, because I had a big starting role in that event. And this was X Factor's first World Cup win. And now this was my second World Cup win, and on a different team. And it was pretty cool to like be a part of that and to help this team win a World Cup. And so that was just such a great feeling. All those guys were in tears, and they played their asses off. I had a small role in helping out, and I was honored to be a part of that.
You had a really good event that year, dude. That World Cup, you played really good.
Dude, that's amazing.
100%. Yeah. So.
And that's the dream, right? I mean, every paintball player that plays tournament paintball wants to win the professional World Cup. That's the cream of the crop right there, So to attain one of those, and at still a relatively, young age with that group of guys, is profound, because you came on and you had a huge role in helping in that too.
Yeah. So that was a great team to play for. I played 3 years with them. And then we were picking up more guys throughout that third year, picking up a lot more like local guys. And myself and Billy were the only ones flying in from out of town. And at the end of that third year, Alex gave me a call and was saying he's going to let me go because they wanted to keep more of the local guys. And I wasn't playing that much, kind of getting my spot taken over from Jordan at the time, Derek Jordan, who was playing my position. I guess he was playing a little better than me. He's taking more game time. So it was what it is. And then I was let go that year. And then I was debating if I was going to keep playing or not. And then right away, the Ironman heard that I was a free agent. Billy on the phone. And Billy's like, hey.
Want to come back?
Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? All right. We'll get Bobby. We'll get, we got some good guys on the squad. We got Shane coaching.
There we go.
Come back to the Ironman for a year or two.
You kind of just go for Shane, right? I mean, that's I'd be like, there he is.
So went back to the Ironman, played 2 years with them, and then decided after that second year, I'm going to hang it up. I've had a lot of fun in paintball. I've had great experience. which I didn't even get into like all the Europe and traveling and stuff. But in the mix of all this, this was now my 13th year. So as I finish up the Ironman on my 13th year of playing pro, my starting year, I was 18 years old, finished at 32 years old. In between all of that, I played a ton of international events, guesting on other teams. A lot of it was fed through Dye when I was playing on the Ironman, and they would link me up with other Dye sponsored teams in South America, in Asia, in Europe. So getting to travel all over the world to play paintball.
Shout out to Benfica. Remember when we got stuck in Spain for that volcano and then you ditched me because you got a flight home?
We were just
talking about that. I was like, oh, dude, I'm good. I got Scott here. I was a young kid. I'm like, we're good. And then all of a sudden, Scott gets a flight home, and I just panicked. I was like, "Oh shit!"
I had a final to take. I was in college at the time. I had
dude. I was in college at the time as well, and I was flying in there, and the pilot was like, "Let's go, we're going in," and then we turned around. So I never made it in while you guys were all trapped. But same thing. Like if I would have got there, I'd have been screwed.
Yeah. So we had some great times in Europe, and so 13 years of playing pro, got to travel all over the world, played hundreds of tournaments. In the US, outside the US.
How amazing is that,
it's
right?
amazing. And then all the friends and connections, like we still have all these friends, and you guys do too. You can literally go to any country in the world and you have somebody that plays paintball that who you've met, and you can contact and go catch up and get lunch or something. So
for sure.
So by the 13th year, I got a ton out of it. I didn't get everything I wanted to, but of course, you always want to set the bar really high, and I was content with everything I got out of it, and I was ready to turn the chapter of my life and focus on more of a career path in the fitness industry and focus on making more money. Because as much as we love paintball and I love playing paintball, it takes a lot of time out of your life if you want to compete and practice at the top level, and you don't get much financial return. But
that's true. And I think that's something that needs to be heard. Like there is a misconception about paintball, and obviously Marcelo, myself, we've been able to do well for ourselves and earn money playing paintball, but it's something that you can't half-ass it. You got to be all in. You got to jump head first and be training your butt off and be doing all the necessary steps, because it can be done. But like you said, it is a full-time gig.
Full-time job, and you're not making much, but you do it because you love it, because those experiences playing the sport at the top level is the reward. We're not getting paid to go to the gym and get up early and work out and eat healthy. We don't get paid that, for that. That's the work we put on the side. So after doing it for 13 years, I was ready to turn the chapter and hang it up and just focus on my career and put more time into starting a business and working on my own career path outside of paintball. So I took 2 years off. I wasn't planning on coming back, but
he's back, baby.
I dusted off the weekend just to make sure.
Real quick, dude. Real quick. Your last tournament with the Ironman World Cup, 2000. Sorry, was it 18? Was that 2018?
I believe
or 17.
Maybe 17.
Either way,
17.
The last event you played when you retired was again one of your best events, dude. Yeah, but you played so good that whole weekend, and then you retired. It was like, to me, outside of just being your friend and knowing you on a personal level as a fan, I was like, damn, dude, that sucks. Like, paintball lost a really good player that is actually, it looks like you were almost turning the page again, getting ready to turn the page again and have another big run. And then you're like, you went and pursued other stuff. And it's kind of like, Michael Jordan, when he left to go play baseball after winning 3 championships, like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
You have so much to still do.
Yeah. So, we got Michael back. We got Michael back, baby.
We got him back.
Let's go.
So when we heard you were coming back and wanted to play, man, I just know we were stoked.
Yeah.
We said Michael's back.
So then I take 2 years off with no mindset of returning. And then I go and play paintball for fun. We actually played a tournament. It was a 10-man.
That's right.
In
the Hawks.
Beginning of the year, it was I believe it was in January, and we played with this team that HK sponsored called the Hawks. And we threw together a random 10-man team. We
have sandbaggers, dude. You guys went and played a bunch of yeah.
Anybody could have played. Why were you out there?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Probably didn't want to go beat up on kids.
Yeah. So we gear up, and I get to play with Brandon Short again and my brother, and we beat up on a bunch of 12-year-olds, and I'm like, still got it, still got it. So, so we play that weekend, and I'm like, man, I miss playing paintball. Like, that was fun. We win this tournament, and then the next weekend, I'm like, hey, Spica, Ryan, Mouse, like, hey, who's going to play this weekend? I want to go play. Anyone going? I'm like, yeah, we're going to Pendleton. I'm like, all right, I'm coming. Like, and I just no intention of getting back into tournament paintball, but I'm like, I just want to play because
For
sure.
fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's the most fun you could ever have. Are you kidding me? Paintball is the greatest thing ever.
It's so fun. No matter what, if you're playing for your first time when you're 12 at a birthday party, or you're playing at top level, or you retired and then you're playing again just to kick the rust off, it's fun.
That's why we started this whole movement. Play the game is to get people playing the game. It's the funnest thing you could ever do, man. Paintball is the top.
I'm playing every weekend for a month plus, just for fun. I'm just like, who's going out? I'm going to Pendleton. I want to play. And the Dynasty guys were like, hey,
yep, come on out.
we might be able to use you. Come on out. So I came out to a couple practices and then made the squad. And I was super stoked. I was like, oh, I got an opportunity to play with Dynasty, which I've always looked up to Dynasty. Who hasn't? And I've always played against them. And I was like, now I have an opportunity to play for Dynasty.
Not only play for Dynasty,
are on the team.
That's right.
It's an amazing family. It's an amazing team. They got everything it takes to win, and I still got talent, and I still got the physical and mental shape to be in to keep playing. So I was like, let's keep playing.
Yeah, baby.
Wait, I just realized when we we're talking about how good a shape you're in, we totally missed the Mr. Itan story.
Oh man! So all right,
we got to go back. We got to go back to like 2010.
Quick flashback. So there's this local tanning salon called iTan in San Diego, and we're like, we're like 2010. I want to say this is like I'm on the Ironman at the time.
But this is also when you like really got into fitness. You started going for like physique competitions,
like stage competitions and stuff. And they have this big contest where every year they pick one guy as the I-Man because their place is called ITAN. And so first you have to submit an online resume, and they do a voting system. So hundreds of people submit their applications, and then they take about 20 or 30 that are finalists, and I was one of them. And then for the finalists, they take you to a downtown club, and they put you on stage one after another as a beauty pageant, and you got to go out one at a time. You got to do a little talking.
I was there, by the way. I'm proud to say that I was in the
stand. And then the judges, they have judge committee. They're going to pick the winner. So I get invited to this thing, and I'm like, I can't do this. Well, you know what?
Dude,
I'm only doing this if I get all my friends to go. So if you win, this, they pay you $1,000. You become their endorsed I-Man for the year. You get some other perks and whatever. So I'm like, all right.
Your picture was in like all the ITANs in all of Southern California, dude. You were famous.
Still in ITANs. I'm still in them. So I was like, all right, I'm going to get all my friends that are in town to come to the club. Well, you got to be there at like 8 p.m. It's like, how am I going to get all my friends to show up at 8 p.m. to a club? I'm like, I'm going to rent a party bus and shuttle everybody there. It's the only way. So the party bus was like $1,000, and I was like, I'm gonna win this, and I'm gonna pay for it up front. That was my mindset.
Yeah, you already knew.
Gonna win.
Yeah, already knew.
So I buy this party bus, and I have everybody show up early. It picks up all my friends, and I funnel them in. So now the whole crowd is all my friends.
And I'll tell you, I was in the bus. It was a party, dude. We were ripping and roaring and having a good time. It was great.
Anyways, we end up winning the contest. I got a check for $1,000. It paid for the party bus. I got stapled in all these tanning salons. They still use my photos, which I want royalties for those.
Yeah. They need to sponsor Dynasty. Ryan needs a few more tans. I don't know if that's good for his skin though. He's looking a little weathered. Maybe
sunblock. He needs a sunblock sponsorship.
The sunblock sponsorship. That's right.
So that was all right. So fast forward back to where we left off. So now I'm I'm stoked this year getting
We
on
love you,
Dynasty
Ryan.
with you guys and all the core Dynasty guys that are still there.
Yeah.
And it's just looking like a great opportunity. And I'm just excited to play
Dude.
paintball and top level paintball with this squad. And then we play one tournament and then we get everything swept away from us. So now
And,
here
and
we are.
you know, like I was gonna say, not only are you on Dynasty, a part of Dynasty, you're gonna be a pivotal role in the success of us winning tournaments moving into the future.
Yeah.
And we're so immensely glad to have all of the guys on the team. You know, we're all shooting for the moon here. We all want to win tournaments. That's why we're on the team. And I think that you bring a whole new fire. It was great picking up a couple guys at the end of the season, beginning 2019. Picked up Urena, picked up yourself, and it really has added a fight mentality, a whole new fire to the team.
Yeah. No, we got a nasty squad, and
Yeah,
it's a shame that we couldn't
dude, I know.
this
Keep
year.
rolling, because I thought we had a really good groove of an interest in getting into practices, and I thought the hunger, like Tyler said, you coming back to the game and being on the team was a huge addition. Picking
Yeah.
up Mike at the start of the season, it's just always nice to bring in a little bit of fresh blood to kind of mix things up. But
For sure. And
I
you guys
just-
are you
man.
guys are in you work out. You guys are ready to attack. You're trying you can see the investment that you guys have in the team, in the organization, and that pays dividends. I know you said we don't get paid in the gym and this that, but I truly do. Whenever I go to the gym, I think to myself, I'm getting paid in here. I'm getting paid in the gym. You know, because that work that I do in there gets
Yeah.
me paid. I'm
Yeah.
getting paid when I go to the gym.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I was thinking the same thing when Scotty
Yeah,
said that too.
they paying me in here. Every crunch I get's like a nickel, you know?
that.
I'm like, all right, there's a crunch
A
more.
nickel, a nickel,
You know?
dude. I like
You
that a
know?
lot.
For
Dang.
sure. We're getting paid in there. And that's what we need. We need that hunger. We need that fire. And I'm so excited to get back to practices and get this thing rolling. It's gonna be some great ball when we get back out there.
Yeah. Hopefully sooner than later.
Yep.
Yeah.
2021, we're coming in hot.
How yeah, I mean, what's your, how invested are you, Scott? Tell the fans, like, were you planning on coming to play a season, see where it went, or did you feel like you have done enough outside of the sport to where you're ready to kind of come back? 'Cause that happens a lot too. People will leave for a little bit to kind of reestablish themselves in a career to where they can come back and also play paintball full time, because now they have, their side gig is working out and they're financially stable and comfortable. Do you mind talking about that a little bit?
Yeah, exactly. So when I took time off, or when I hung it up, it was because I wanted to free up my time to work on my business. I started a mobile gym business that didn't do too well, and I ended up leaving that. But now I work for a company where they take care of me pretty well, and I have a good balance with work there, and I have my freedom on the weekends to play again. So because that opportunity opened up, I was like, I can play now. I have the time to play. And I wasn't coming in the mindset to just play a season. I would like to play several seasons and keep going with it, as long as my body allows me to play and I'm still good. I want to keep playing.
Awesome,
So
good.
Absolutely.
One thing I gotta say,
you are good. You're good, dude.
yeah, 100%, dude. You worked me over in multiple gunfights in that first practice before you decided you were coming back to the team, and that's why I was like, dude, you're gonna crush Pro Tour. But
Pick 'em up.
we'll talk about that too in a sec.
Yeah.
But what I do want to say actually is, your mobile gym business, I thought was an amazing idea.
Yeah.
I'm really blown away that it didn't do well.
Right. And it was such a cool concept. The problem was Southern California is not a good place to do it. And the reason why
I
is
would think it'd be the best because
would
you could
think
be
that.
outdoors, right?
You would think that. You would think that. So a couple hurdles that were tough is, number one, getting permits to set up at public areas is tough and restricting. And when you're working with the city like that, they give you specific time and days that you can be set up. And in secluded areas that don't get good publicity. And so these are things that I didn't realize until I've already invested into it and I'm getting the ball rolling. And you don't really find this stuff out until you've gone into it and you're waiting for your permits to approve. And it's like, oh, I can be at this park from 7 to 10 a.m. And then I got to move to this one and this one. And the time it takes to set up and tear down and relocate, you're spending all day to move around, to teach 2 or 3 classes, and it doesn't work out logistically. Ideally, you want to be able to set up at one place all day long with your branding showing. They put me in areas that nobody can see really. And then I was trying to go corporate route to set up at like corporate offices, right, in the parking lots and stuff. But the trailer is so big, it's so hard to get set up and have enough room. So all these corporate buildings were like, oh, we like the idea, but we utilize every parking spot in our parking lot with the employee cars. There's nowhere for you to set up really. And so those were a lot of the big hurdles that I faced with the logistics of the company. The other part of it is Southern California is such a competitive market when it comes to fitness because so many people are into fitness. So I'm going after people that already have a gym membership or a yoga membership or a Pilates or a spin class membership, and you're trying to take a customer from an already active area. So now this mobile gym that I bought, I got it from a company in Boston that makes mobile gyms custom for people to make their own businesses. And before I got it, I reached out to a lot of companies who started their own from the same mobile gym brand throughout all of the US. And I picked their brains. I looked at their media pages, looked at their websites, and saw how they're doing. All these small little towns, like in like this lady has one in Joshua Tree, or this guy has one in like Oregon, all these little towns where you have like a small village of people that don't even have gym access, those ones thrive.
For sure.
Up anywhere, and they're hitting like the local coffee shops with flyers, and they're getting like a community to come. It's a lot harder in Southern California because the market is so saturated. So because of those main hurdles, I was investing so much time and energy and breaking even on my marketing costs. When I had the opportunity to jump on board at Fit, where I'm at now,
what a place that is.
Because it was just a great opportunity for me. I did want to continue to work on this on the side, but it was a non-compete and I couldn't be a part of it. So I had to part ways with my partner and give him my shares.
Dude, we're talking about $30 million, baby. That gym that's where you want to be.
Dude, 35 M's. That's insane. But, I think a really good point, and just something that I've always admired about you, Scott, and it's the way that I've looked at my entire paintball career and really anything outside of paintball as well. Something that I take away from my dad actually is to always be thinking of ideas. And you've always done that. And, when you see these really successful businesses or ideas, whether it's Facebook or a big company, maybe it's a meal prep, whatever it is, often it's not the CEO's first idea. Often it's their 10,000th idea, and they've tried a bunch of different stuff and learned through trial and error what might and might not work. And you get better and better. And it kind of leads you to the path of what ends up being your final job or your career or something that you love to do. Absolutely. And it's like you've written a couple ebooks, you've always found ways to monetize paintball, the platform that you built through a lot of hard work and success that was earned. You found a way to monetize that. And Tyler and I don't know if you've listened to many of our episodes, but we really preach that a lot because if you want to chase a professional paintball dream, you have to also be a businessman or woman. You have to understand business and you have to understand how to treat yourself like a brand and monetize all of these little avenues if you want to make it work. And it's something you've done pretty damn well. And I'm super excited for you to be back in paintball, kind of all in, and you've got like a comfortable place, an amazing teammate, dude. Like you're a great addition. We're super jazzed. And
dude, teammate of the year. Let's go. And
hey, dude, I thought that was me, Tyler.
Well, you took a back seat once he came on the team. We know the rules. We know the rules. Hey, dude, Skimp, really though, you are one of the hardest working people I've ever met. Paintball, not in paintball, whatever. Like you always have gone above and beyond. No matter what you're doing, you're a grinder, dude, and that really is going to set you apart and has set you apart in everything that you do. And all of the struggle and the grief that all breeds and manifests success. That's what you need in order to attain success. You can't you get knocked down, you keep getting up, you keep fighting, you keep working, you get better, you learn from your mistakes. And that's what you're always doing, man. It hasn't been, cherries and gumdrops the whole ride. It's been, it's been a grinder, and that's what it takes to be successful. And you're a true testament to that. And it's an honor to be able to be your friend, your teammate, and be able to, tell this story, because a lot of people think that people just get successful. They just think, oh, you showed up and, they were like, oh yeah, we'll pick up Scott. That's great. And he's going to be great. He'll be the best in the world. But you grind, you work, and that's the difference, man. That's the message. And that's how you win, dude. That's how you succeed.
And paintball taught me that at a young age.
Yeah, exactly.
Paintball taught me at a young age that hard work and perseverance will get you to your goals. And it paved the way through fitness, because in competing in fitness competitions, even, we laugh about the ITAM thing, but I had to show up in better shape than everybody else, and I beat out all these fools.
Exactly.
That's
bro. It was crazy.
Diet and training. But at a young age, as a young teenager, when I put my mind and hard work towards being the best paintballer that I could be, is when I would start to be rewarded from that. And so all the hard work through business, through fitness, through paintball, it's all been shown through the sport of paintball at a young age.
And paintball was like an outlet for you, right? It was kind of like your way of expressing yourself, escaping the normalities of life, and just digging into this passion that you have for something that you truly love, right?
Yeah, it's fun. It's on and off the field, the whole process of it's fun. Getting together with your friends, getting together with your teammates, family, whoever's out there, strategizing game plans before, the enjoyment and the thrill and the adrenaline on the field, and then talking about it after. The whole process of the whole game is so fun.
For sure.
There's
nothing better than that connection. Like, you go into war with your brothers, like literally we're going to war, let's have each other's back, let's play good ball. And then you're able to tell these stories and have these timeless connections with each other. And that's all through this amazing game that we play.
And even if it's somebody's first time, like, so when I get like new clients at the gym and then I tell them about paintball, they're like, oh man, I played once before for like a party or a bachelor party, whatever it was, and they're like, it was so fun. Like, they're jazzed about it. They're excited to tell me like a moment of the game, like, I snuck up on this guy and then like I snipered him from the hills. Like, they just
it's
they
amazing,
and they have this memory in their head forever about an experience on the field.
For sure.
What's interesting to me, and I really noticed it from my time playing with Team USA. And you guys have all played in either all-star games or in some sort of event where you play with another player that you might respect, but you don't know him. You're not friends until you play. And all it takes is 1 point together where you have really good communication and you guys accomplish something on the field. And it's like all of a sudden you're best friends, It truly is a weird thing. I know playing with Team USA, like if there are players where like we have good communication, you're building this trust almost out there.
Yeah. That's right.
And you put together a game plan and you listen to each other and you act and it works out. Like after that, you almost have this weird bond that was created on the paintball field. I don't know exactly how to explain it. I'm sure you guys have seen that,
it makes sense 100%.
Yeah. And that's kind of, it's no different in real life, right? When you have a good conversation with somebody in real life and you have that connection and you guys feel like, damn, we're hitting, we're picking up where each other's lifting off and we're on the same path. It creates those bonds that last eternity. And paintball, more than anything, does that, because if you don't have that connection, you're going to get pelted to pieces. So it's like, you really got to have that connection, and it's even more of a bond, It's crazy.
I love this game, dude. It's done so much amazing things, so many amazing things for my life, and given all of us such great friendships that, I mean, without paintball, where would we be, dude? What would we be doing? Who knows? But I know it wouldn't be this cool.
Yeah. Well, I for sure wouldn't have these two insane kids that I love with all my heart trying to beat down the door right here. Because that's where I met Sarah at Huntington Beach.
Oh, no way. I didn't know that.
Well, we dated in high school, and so we have kind of like a long heritage together. And then she went her separate ways, went to LA, did hair out there, crushed it. Like Heidi from the Hills was one of her clients. She's super good at doing hair and stuff. So she was doing really well. I went to Huntington Beach. It was when I broke my hand and I had the cast on. And everybody is like, where'd Tyler go? He disappeared. I went to Huntington Beach, and then I invited her out. We rocked together and had a good time, and we just haven't separated ever since.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool.
That's tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tight.
Shout out to Huntington Beach, man. I love that place.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either. It's another thing I love about the show, dude. I feel like we learn stuff about each other and our friends all the time. It's really
For
a neat
sure.
thing.
Dude, this is the best decision we ever made, Marcelo. Creating this
No,
show
it's
is
up
like
there. It's
we're
up there.
connecting, yeah, connecting the community, having fun, just the love of playing the game. That's what it's all about, And Scotty, I want to get into like training. Obviously, that's what you do for a living. How important is that to you for paintball? And what should guys be doing to be the best athletes they can be on the field?
Yeah.
Marcelo's laughing because
I
Oliver
love it.
and Ryan and Alex, they're all like, you don't need to work out to play paintball.
On the show, they're like, working out doesn't make you any better at paintball. You don't need that. What are you doing? Like, dude,
it's extremely important because for a few aspects of it, right? So, number one, working out is going to help speed, endurance, right? So you're going to help your performance. You're going to improve your performance. Some guys are gifted and already naturally fast, right? Like Ryan,
like those three guys.
Ryan's pretty gifted. Ryan's pretty gifted.
Like those three guys, they can.
Oliver, let's be very clear, dude. Oliver used to work out all the time.
Yeah.
When I got on the Ironman, it was like mandatory for everyone on the Ironman to work out. I remember I got him a perfect push-up. He was stoked, like he would travel with it.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. Ryan is the one anomaly that just
he can eat whatever he wants, and he's always going to have a six-pack, and he'll be small and fast. So for one, training is going to help your performance. Some guys are gifted. Now let's take guys that are not gifted and they have excess 20 or 30 pounds of body fat on them, right? You're carrying an extra pack, you're a bigger target and you're slower. You're going to be out of breath faster. So take people that aren't already just freaks of nature naturally, genetically. Most people are out of shape or have extra body fat. So working out's going to improve your performance on the field. You're going to be faster. You're going to have better endurance. You're going to be able to play more points. When you improve your endurance, you're also going to be able to think better and perform better mentally, because if you're just gassed and you feel like you're going to throw up, how well are you going to make a good game time decision, right? So those are some of the benefits of working out. Another part of it is that I always feel is like when I put in work throughout the week, I feel like I have an upper hand mentally.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've been training harder than those guys on the other side, and it's going to
confidence
out, and it like builds your confidence. And when you're training, you're like thinking about like the tournament that's coming up or the practice that's coming up, and it's like building this like energy inside of you, and like that always like helps fuel me. And then the third thing,
it's a really active form of visualization. It is.
It is, dude.
100%.
Dude, when I'm in the gym and I'm doing my workouts, dude, you're thinking about it all.
Extra reps, you're pushing extra distance, you're pushing yourself harder because you're like thinking of the goal in sight.
Yes. Yes.
And that like helps drive you through your training. And then the third thing that I'll say is another form of training, but proper stretching and mobility movements is huge to prevent injury and keep yourself nice and limber and mobile so that you don't hurt yourself, or at least lower the chances of hurting yourself. So there's so many benefits of training. Absolutely. No matter what shape you're in now, whether you're already the fastest player on the field, you should still be training. And if you are the slowest player on your team, then you absolutely should be training, and then everybody in between.
And it drives the organization, it fires people up when you see your teammate, your buddy working his ass off, and you're like, damn, I'm going to be on that level with you. And then when you guys show up, you form Megatron, and it's like, boom, let's blast off,
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Megatron.
That's the vision right there. And that's what world championship teams do, Impact, Heat, X Factor. For the most part, these guys are working out and doing the most that they can in order to stay as sharp as they possibly can, so that when it comes to Sunday afternoon, you're not like, damn, my body is cooked. You're like, okay, let's cook these bodies. You know what I mean? It's time to flip the script on them,
Mm-hmm.
That's scorched earth mentality. You gotta burn the whole earth down and win it. You gotta win it. Shoot the paint and do the work out there. So keep going on the training. I want to know what you do for yourself to stay ready for paintball.
Yeah, like let's go through like a 1 month leading into an event, or unless you have a longer training regimen, if it's 6 weeks, whatever it is, like
Yeah.
Vegas, say, like what do you do to prepare for an event?
Well, I'll break down a month for you, and it'll vary based on the person, their
Of
limitations,
course.
their current condition, right? So if you are just getting into training, I would recommend training less because your body isn't going to recover as fast. I've been
Yeah.
training for half my life, so my body can recover much faster. But we'll break down a month. So let's say in a month, at the end of the month, there's going to be a tournament, and I have several weeks of practice on the weekends. First off, let's just call it a Saturday Sunday practice, basic textbook that most people would have. I'm going to take Friday as a full rest day. I want my body to take a full day off prior to practice. Now, let's start from the beginning of the week. Monday, okay? I'm going to probably do a pretty intense workout, full body. I'm going to work on strength training. I'm going to work on mobility, and then I'm going to work on speed.
Yeah.
Strength training is going to be more weightlifting. It's going to be at a slower tempo, and I'll usually get either an upper body or a lower body movement going, right? So if I'm working on upper body strength training, I'm working on more of a weight training at a slower, controlled environment. Working my upper body, right? Say we'll do that on Monday. Then I'm also going to incorporate mobility stuff. So a lot of foam rolling. I'm a huge fan of foam rolling, and a lot of static stretching. So foam rolling, what does that do for you? That's going to help break up tightness, right? You get really tight. The more you weight train and the more you work out, and even just from paintball, your body wants to get tighter. Your muscles want to get restricted. So to help with that mobility and loosen them up, I'm a huge fan of foam rolling, myofascial release, whether it's with a foam roller, with a Right,
Yeah.
a lacrosse ball. This is soft tissue release therapy, where you're pressing into a tight area in the body and helping release that muscle. Then you're also going to want to do a lot of static stretching. That's where you just hold and elongate the muscle, right? So like your yoga moves, to help keep you nice and limber. Paintball, you need to be flexible. You need to be limber.
Mhm.
You're getting,
Yoga's huge in paintball.
I love yoga. You get
Yeah.
pressure
And
on
that's
spot.
something Ryan does all the time. He stretches all the time.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's very limber. Um,
Yeah.
and then for speed and agility, I'll do either some sort of sprint work with resistance. Maybe it'll be an incline, maybe it'll be with a parachute, maybe it'll be with a weight vest on, or I'll do more of like plyometric style. It could be, box
Yeah.
jumps, it could be ladder work, stuff like that. So I'll try to hit those three phases throughout this whole week, right? So we'll call the upper body strength on Monday. Now we roll into Tuesday, we're going to give the upper body a rest. And now we're going to do some strength training in the lower body. Let's do some squats, some leg presses, some lunges. So why do you want to get a mix of that, right? Because it's not just for aesthetic purposes. When you do strength training, you're also improving your speed. So a lot of people think if I just do sprints, I'll get faster. You will. But if you want to really improve your speed, you want to get a mix of your sprints as well as your strength training, doing your heavy squats.
Yeah.
You get a combination of the two, and now you're going to really unload or unlock speed out of your body. So Tuesday, we're going to do some lower body strength training. We'll also incorporate some agility, speed work. And of course, I'm going to work on some foam rolling and static stretching. Wednesday and Thursday might be a combination of the two. I might do upper and lower, or I might split it again and just repeat what I did Monday and Tuesday. Come Friday, I'm going to rest. But on my rest day, I'm still going to do some foam rolling and static stretching.
Totally.
I'm just
Yeah.
going to use
Recovery
that
day.
as an
Recovery
active
day.
Yep, recovery. And that way I can come in nice and fresh into Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Now, coming into Monday after a weekend of practice, I might be really sore and I might take that Monday off. I'm going to kind of listen to my body. And that's what a lot of people need to take into effect is when they write out their plan, sometimes you need to adjust things. More isn't always better. So if I'm
Yeah.
pretty sore by then and we had a brutal practice and my legs are toast, I might skip the sprints that day. I might just do some upper body work and I'll kind of feel it out. I'll stick to that kind of regiment throughout those 3 weeks of training with my rest days before and also depending on how sore I am after practice. Now, coming into that last weekend of the month, we're going into a tournament. So we're going to fly out on Wednesday. We're going to practice Thursday. We're going to play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to take Wednesday off completely. So Monday and Tuesday, to be honest, I'm going to only push myself about 50 or 60%. I'm going to go
That's
through
right.
my routine, but I'm not going to go 100% balls to the wall. I'm going to break the sweat and get things moving, but I'm already sore from that practice and from the whole month of training.
Yeah.
So Monday is going to be a pretty light work. Tuesday is also going to be pretty light work. Wednesday is going to be full rest. I'm not breaking a sweat on Wednesday. We're flying out, get acclimated, get set up. And then Thursday, we're going to have a day of practice. I'm going to do a ton of stretching, by the way, on Wednesday and Thursday throughout the day in the hotel room when you find time, foam rolling, static stretching. And then you roll into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where now you're playing your matches and you should be feeling 100%. You're not sore in any areas of your body. You feel nice and limber. And now you can perform better based off of all the work you did. What a lot of people do wrong is they push themselves too hard. They roll into an event sore, and now you're at 60 or 70%. So you just did all this hard work for nothing. You don't want.
We were just talking about that.
You don't want your legs to be dead when you got to sprint and dive into the snake. You want them to be
So, as an athlete, you want to be in your competition at peak performance, and you need the rest. Kirill was the one, he was really touching on that, you know, with the Russians and their style. And that's something that I actually did wrong for a long time. I would work out hard until Tuesday, you know, Monday, Tuesday, I would still have hard workouts, and Wednesday I would take off. But then Thursday we start playing again. It's really not enough. So now that whole week, look, if you're still trying to get your last minute gains in that week, you've already missed the boat.
Absolutely.
You know, like you've missed the boat. So you got to rest.
Everybody's body's different. So you really have to feel yourself out and decide, you know, do I need to take this whole week off? You know, you finish practice on Sunday. Maybe you take Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off completely. And that's okay.
Stretching.
Because then you're going to come in with better performance into the tournament. So the last thing you want to do is hinder yourself. And
on those days off, you're still doing work. You're still stretching. You're still, you know,
absolutely.
You're staying limber and getting all that.
And then the last part to touch on that is the bigger factor that a lot of people don't take into factor as well is the nutrition. So what you're putting in your body is going to affect your recovery time. So if you're working out really hard and putting in all this hard work, but you're drinking alcohol and eating junk food, your body can't perform optimally. You're putting, you know, bad gas in the tank, like I like to call it, and you're not going to recover optimally.
That's half the battle. That's half the battle right there. You got to be eating premium food. You've got to be
eating enough good food.
Drinking your transfuse.
Transfuse. Get your transfuse. But it's serious, you know, it's all about what you put in. That's what you're going to get out. And no matter what shape, form you look at it in life, that's how it goes. You put in good, you get out good. You put in crap, you're going to get out crap.
That's the hardest part. That's the biggest struggle that, you know, most people have, that most of my clients have. It's not the 3 or 4 hours a week that they spend with me where I put them through a great workout. They do great and they do what I tell them to do. It's the rest of the week where they are in control of their nutrition and they're not making that a priority, you're not going to make progress.
Yeah, it's the 60 hours they have where they have to make good decisions on what to eat. That, you know, that's where it's all happening at, for sure. Yeah, dude, and hey, for everybody out there listening, that usually costs $200 for every 30 minutes. So take some notes, you know, jot it down and start getting your game right. Scott Kemp Fitness, baby. If you need fitness, hit up Scott Kemp on his Facebook, Instagram. You can find him and get some fitness stuff going with him.
Yeah. And also a book that, I forgot if you gave it to me or if I bought it. I hope I bought it, but I think you gave it to me a long time ago. It was the one you wrote. I think it's called Performance Training for the Paintball Athlete. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that still available? Where can people find that? Because it was great, dude.
Yeah.
And it was a while ago that I read it, but I remember there was so much good stuff in there.
So I took my ebooks off the market when I got employed by Fit. They made me take out any fitness related products that I was selling that wasn't through them. So I actually had to take my
Whoa,
store down.
really?
But listen up, if you're listening to this right now, email me at scottkempfitness@gmail.com. I'm going to send you a free copy for everybody.
There we go.
Dude.
Play the game, baby.
That is tight.
In the heading,
That is
play the
tight.
game. Play the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to put the subject as play the game, and then I love
You made
that.
it this far through
That's
the
so
podcast, you got a free book on me.
dude, that's amazing, man. And it's a really good book. It truly is. It's amazing. So
That is so cool. And you also, along with all the fitness stuff you do, you're a surfer. And that's another great way to stay fit. How's the surf been out there, dude? How's it been going?
It's been this week. It's been a little small, but the waters get warmer.
Yeah.
There was a huge swell last week.
usually it gets bigger when it gets warmer. Is that how the swells work?
No, it's not temperature based. It's based off of shores, but the water is getting warmer. You can go on board shorts now. But we got to get Marcelo in the water.
Temperature-based water waves.
Yeah, dude. I know. Actually, I love the ocean. I go in the ocean a lot. I just don't surf. I've only surfed a couple times on longboards, so they're pretty easy to ride.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a blast. I rode a shorter board one time and really got demolished, dude. Like I thought I was gonna die. I just under a wave. And I honestly I haven't been on a surfboard since.
Yeah.
It was scary, dude.
Man.
It was real scary because I was surfing a shore break and I didn't know about shore breaks. I had no idea.
Oh boy.
So like I hit the bottom and the wave curled over the top of me. I mean, I'm probably
Just slammed you.
No, that's always a great time.
Yeah.
Dude, just getting body slammed by Mother Earth just to the fullest.
I was blowing salt water out of my nose for 2 weeks.
Oh man.
I know that one.
Yeah, the ocean is nothing to play with. Honestly, I love the ocean and all, but you will not find me like just out there all day in there because it kind of, as much as I love it, it creeps me out too. We don't know anything about what's going on in there.
Man.
Yeah,
for
for sure.
You definitely got to.
Yeah, you got to respect mama.
Whether you're on a boat or a board or just even swimming around, you got to respect the water.
That is so true, man. And like with kids and everything, I'm like super highly like overprotective of water now. Like I had to save a kid one time that was like drowning and it scarred me a little. And it's like the water is no joke. And thankfully, like the kid that wasn't doing so well in the water, I got to and got him out. But like the mom and dad were off just messing around. It's like, bro, watch over your loved ones so that we don't have problems like this. It's super scary. The water is no joke. And we need it to live, right? But it'll also take you out in an instant.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So,
and then go ahead.
Yeah, no. If you were on this subject, I just kind of wanted to jump into Pro Tour. I want to talk about an Ultimate Shootout a little bit. Obviously, you got to play the Pro Tour, which is cool. But, that is one highlight that we have right now is there's some cool one-on-one events going on. So what was it like playing Pro Tour? What do you think of that whole format?
Yeah, so Brandon Short started Pro Tour a couple of years ago. He's done several different matches. It's a really cool format. It's just a one-on-one, and it's a grinder. So it's not like you're playing best 2 out of 3. You're going at it. It's a full-on
boxing.
It's
boxing match.
He kind of simulated it to tennis.
Tennis,
so
yeah.
like
That's right.
Tennis players playing against each other, where you start either kitty corner or heads up. And I've been to all the events to help out with staff, and they had a match drop out, and last minute Short hits me up. It was like Tuesday before the event, and he was like, "Hey, will you play?" And I was like, "Shit, all right."
Well, that's your dog. Like you guys are best friends.
Let's go. Who am I playing? And he's like, "I don't know." He's like, "Who can we get?" And then I was going to play Corey. And he backed out because he got like kidney stones or something. And then
like, hopefully he's doing okay.
Let's get Spica. So I was like, all right. I hit up Spica. I'm like, hey, let's play this thing. Who cares? Everybody. The problem is a lot of people didn't want to play because nobody wants to lose, and people don't want to get their ego crushed. I'm like, look, one of us is going to win, one of us is going to lose. Play. It'll be fun. There's no paintball.
Dude, I love that so much.
You know?
I love that about you, dude.
Play.
You're playing the game. Thank God, man. Everybody get off with all this nonsense and play some paintball, you know?
Play. So
What's
I was
this
like, hell yeah,
about?
this is
Yeah.
and Spica and I are matched up, and there's several matches that day. It was a cool event. The format, so I've never played it before. I've never even practiced it before. So the guns are a little slower, so the shooting's a little different. You're in a smaller arena, and it's all temples.
Yeah.
So I'm playing against Spica, and he gets a big lead on me in the beginning. In the beginning, I was playing a little too aggressive, and I was kind of trying to like muscle him out. There's different zones. There's 1-pointer, 2-pointer, and 3-pointer zones on the field. And I was trying to like muscle him out, get to like a 2 or 3-pointer and win the gun battle. And he started dominating me in the first half. He got up, it was like 9-0 in the beginning. It wasn't looking good for me.
And
race to
but
21.
you can come back in this. It's crazy.
And so
yeah.
Race to 21. He got a huge lead on me in the beginning. I was like, all right, I need to slow this down and start putting some points on the board. So I start coming back. The final score was 21-13. And I could have won. If a few more things went my way. We had 3 simos in the 3-point zone. We were both in the 3-point zone, or no, where I was in the 3-point zone, he was in it for a couple of them, and we both just shot each other out. So if a couple of those went my way, I could have taken it from him, but he got a good lead on me in the beginning. He ended up beating me heads up. It was fun. He outplayed me, but
he looked sharp. I think actually, Kyle, he did. He looked really sharp. I was happy for him, especially after losing to Tyler in the first one. He looked sharp.
Yeah,
but
it's fun.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different.
Yeah, it's a tough format.
You know, you don't get any warm up. Pressure's on you. It's just you and another person, and then Tyler, the reigning champ, he's scary in there. So we gotta. Do we know who's gonna enter the cage with you next? Has there been any announcements yet?
I don't know. We're waiting to hear news of who's going to step in there.
Tyler cracked the code in that thing, and he is tearing heads off inside. I was expecting a closer match between Keith. Keith is a really good one-on-one player. He's a really good snap shooter. You know what? He was winded. He was winded early, and he was tired. I was tired too, and I work out a ton. Kyle Spica works out a ton. He even said he was tired.
Yeah.
The match lasts almost an hour long from start to finish, and we had no shade. And in between the points, what you guys
can't take your mask off.
Is you can't take your mask off. You stay on the field. You have no shade. You have a minute between each point, and you have a pit guy bringing you water and paint, but you're still cooking on the turf. It was 100 degrees. So even if you weren't playing paintball and you were just standing there in your gear, you'd be tired.
Yeah,
totally. Add in a bunch of one-on-ones. So we were all gassed, and Tyler was better conditioned. Tyler was better conditioned than anybody that day. Tyler looked great. But Keith,
it was Arizona. I'm not gonna lie. I live in Arizona now.
Keith definitely got winded towards that second half, and you can tell he wasn't used to the heat. It was just different. And he even said after he was tired. But
I picked him up. I picked him up off the ground when I was done. You know, I gave him a huge hug and I said, dude, you're a champion. It's all love for paintball. Like, I trained really hard in Arizona. Marcelo came out. I was on one side of the field. I had Marcelo, Ryan, Mikey Arena, and Brandon Unger on the other side of the field. And I never left the field, and they just kept rotating. So I was already getting acclimated to the quick turnaround. And Arizona heat is no joke. It will cook your face right off. So I was training in that. Yeah. So it's like Dragon Ball Z when you go up to that training thing and then you hop down to earth and you're like, wow, the gravity is lighter.
I mean, it really is like getting ready for a fight too, you know, like a fighter has their whole team that they spar with. They learn different things, you know, like that day out in Arizona was really cool. You know, I felt like, damn, we're like, it's like a fight camp, you know, and like, getting you ready
Yeah.
for battle. I mean, I don't know if getting you
For
ready
sure.
is the right
Well,
term.
you guys did. You did, man. And I truly appreciate that. And, I'm excited to see who's going to step up and come for the belt, because it's a fun thing that we're doing. Like, Brandon has really created something so fun and just entertaining. It's fun to do.
I would imagine at this point, two people have to play for the right to play you for the belt, right? Like,
Yeah. So I think that's what he's doing. Like, they're going to have a tournament come up, and then it's going to be contenders. And then after that, it'll be a title match.
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
tight. Super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And dude, it's amazing we have paintball right now in the state that we're in. COVID has been crazy. We got a couple different things. We got the Ultimate Shootout, and we got Pro Tour. We got, some other little tournaments here and there that we're able to do. And it's been a wild ride, but we're making the most of it.
Yeah. What do you think of Ultimate Shootout, Scott? Have you got to watch any of that by chance?
Yeah, I did. So I watched some of it on Go Sports. I've seen all the highlight reels on social media, and then I logged in recently and watched it. It's entertaining. It's definitely they did a great job, like, filming wise, and I love how you, like, have a coach and then people are mic'd up.
I like that.
It adds that, like, entertainment aspect of
Right,
a boxing
right.
match, which
Yeah.
is what kind of Pro Tour is missing, is, like, having the coach corner and, like, get the behind the
Yeah.
scenes. Which I think that Pro Tour will have that on the next one, and is have a coach in your corner between each minute point, where you can take
Uh-huh.
your goggles off, talk to your coach. Hey, stop coming over the top a bunch, stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's going
Top
to.
out to the right.
He's gonna
Yeah. So
he's gonna have, like, a little place in the back where you can go, and like a tent behind
Yeah.
the starting station where you can talk to your coach, get a little shade, get some water, so that we're able to have a nice long match.
what I didn't like about Pro Tour, or sorry, about Ultimate Shootout, is they all seem kind of too quick, and it's almost like just a race to a buzzer a lot of the times.
Yeah.
I agree with
So,
that. I
You know,
do.
you're
I
not
do.
playing as much paintball as you are just, like, running to, like, hit a buzzer, and
It's
maybe
more gimmicky than,
maybe maybe changing the buzzers around or changing the layout, and
So
you
here-
fine tune it more. In Pro Tour, you do get more of a battle, and you're getting, who's going to win this gunfight.
Yeah.
On the Ultimate Shootout, it was a lot of just, like, sprint to this thing, hit that buzzer, and then somebody got shot, kind of.
here's how I look at it. Pro Tour is designed for the player. Ultimate Shootout is designed for the non-paintball player.
Yeah.
So I believe that Pro Tour is much more intricate. Yeah, like, I could see somebody turning on ESPN that doesn't understand paintball, and if they saw Ultimate Shootout, they would be like, "Oh my God, smoke and buzzers, and they're sprinting,"
Yeah.
and then you're shooting them. So to me, I think it's amazing for that space. Get people interested in paintball, and they're like, "Oh, what's paintball?" And then maybe they look at 5-on-5, they look at Pro Tour. Once they start to understand paintball, then Pro Tour is the league for the one-on-one, right? Because that really is a one-on-one that is about the gunfight. It's about the logic. It's about making, intelligent moves. It's less gimmicky, but I that's why I actually love both of these leagues. I think they're both going to be a very unique and valuable space in paintball. I think Ultimate Shootout might gain a little bit of outside attention, whereas paintball players
out for free.
Yeah, that's true. I know that they have plans to release obviously a lot of this stuff. I believe for free. We will see, but you're right. It absolutely has to be given to the masses. Otherwise, what good is it if it's just to the subscribers? That does no good. That does no good. Yeah.
And
there's nothing wrong with, like, the gimmickiness of it. There's no disrespect in that, because television is gimmicky.
Yeah.
All of TV is a bunch of like,
Look at American Ninja Warrior. All that stuff, dude. Like,
there's one called Ultimate Tag.
Yes.
One of the trainers that I work with, he's on that show.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Watch it.
That's right. And that's what TV needs. You need gimmicky things for television. That's how you sell it,
No,
fast-paced, high-intensity kind of stuff, to where it's just nonstop action, and they definitely do that. So I like it. I love both the leagues. I think it is amazing. Like you said, Tyler, it's awesome that we have paintball right now, that we can have stuff to consume, have stuff to play. So, we got to make the best with what we got. That's what we always preach. That's kind of the motto of life. If you want to, live happily. You just got to make the best out of what you got. Bottom line,
Yeah,
don't complain about what
that's
you
it.
can't do. Like, we could all be bummed about a lot of stuff, some more than others. I get that, but at the end of the day, you just got to make do with what you got.
I want
Amen.
to see Marcelo in the next Pro Tour too.
Hey, I told Short, and I've said it here on Pro Tour too. He literally texted me the morning after you versus Mouse, the next headliner. I said I'm in. So, yeah, I don't know.
You
Let's
heard it, Mouse. Let's go.
100%. Yeah, I think Mouse said unless he gets paid, he's not doing it. But
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Well, and that's how it works. Like, and that's why it's gonna be, we gotta, paintball's in a rough stage right now. We got to just do it for the love of the game. And, you're going to get more in return by just playing paintball and showing that you're for the game and playing the game. And that says a big statement about anybody who chooses to go and play. And for you, Scott, like you had zero time to train for this. You're like, okay, I guess I'm playing a tournament. Here we go. Like, that's amazing to me. That's so commendable. That you love paintball, bro. And you also have Brandon's back and you're helping, like, you're like, I got you, dude, and that's just amazing. Yeah.
I would have done it the morning of if he asked me to. I'm like, fuck it. What do I lose?
I got you, Brandon. You know what I mean? We got your back.
Love that.
And yeah, dude, it's a fun format. It's really cool. Obviously, I have the belt sitting right up here, so I feel pretty good about it. It's just great. I'm like, I want to play everybody. That's my outlook. I want to play Archie. I want to play Fedorov. I want to play Oliver from the jungle. I want to play everybody that I can.
Oliver in the jungle.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Right, we're talking Woods Ball 1-on-1. Oh my god, dude, that could be insane.
Yeah, dude.
A small field Woods Ball 1-on-1.
Yeah. Oliver will take the cake in there. He's born and raised in the grit and grime. But it's just love of the game and playing paintball. Like, I guess I could say I have my ego on the line too, and I don't want to go in there unless you pay me a bunch of money and all this, that, and the other. But look, bro, I'm just, if I can't play paintball, COVID has shut down paintball, and there's paintball available, I'm playing paintball.
Mm-hmm.
There's no two ways about it. It's like, we got to get out there on the field and show the love of the game, show for the culture, what we do. That's what it's all about.
Shout out, dude.
Dude, shout out to the culture. Let's go. We got to keep this thing lit. We got to keep paintball alive right now.
I feel you.
Scotty, what advice do you have kids that are, you kind of already gave a lot of the advice, to be honest, but if, people that are listening to this, players that are listening, what advice do you have to them making their way through the ranks that are trying to, chase a pro dream?
Yeah.
Just keep working hard on and off the field. That's the story that all of us learned, all three of us and everybody that we know that has ever won anything out of paintball. It's through that hard work. It's never given to you, and you have to do more than everybody else. That's what set me apart from my peers at a young age that helped me get opportunities to be on top teams. It was the extra work on the field, the extra work off the field, the mindset of really wanting it. If I didn't want it that much, I wouldn't have went that far. I wouldn't have done the extra work. But when I did, it pays off. And then you end up getting paid to be in the gym.
Yeah, baby. That's right. And it comes from the heart, dude. You can't fake the funk. It comes from the heart. If you really have that passion and that love for the game, you're going to succeed. You're going to have that, you're going to go,
Yeah. And then the last thing I would say is also just to enjoy the process, enjoy the hard work, enjoy the grinder of, playing extra points at practice and doing extra drills and, waking up early and going to the gym and studying film of other pros playing. Enjoy that work. You gotta like it. You gotta enjoy that, and then it'll all pay off, and you'll start to see the rewards in the future. But for people that think that it's just, natural gifted, that's all, I'm never going to get it, or that person got lucky, then you will never get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It takes a lot of sacrifice to become a professional paintball player too, because a lot of players have way less opportunity than others too, based on where you live, where you're from. Like, look at Kyle. Kyle literally dropped everything, moved out to California with not much, in his bank account and started a new life here, and now is one of the best players in the world and gets paid to travel around the world. And, there is some disadvantages in paintball simply because we don't have a college system that really feeds into the professional ranks, and there's not that much money in the sport yet, so you really have to go out and pursue it yourself, which means that sacrifice is going to be mandatory if you want to do it as well. So, there's a lot, but it's worth it. I think all three of us would agree it's so incredibly worth it, if not for the money, but definitely for the experiences and the friendships and the life lessons and stuff that I say it over and over, man. Paintball has done stuff for me that money cannot buy. I don't care if you have billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos cannot pay for the experiences that all three of us have been fortunate enough to have in foreign countries, here in America, where you name it. So, that
it's
alone,
organic,
it is totally, yeah.
Yeah, it's an organic experience when you're able to come show up and play paintball with, people that are all on a common mission. And for the culture, you get to meet new people from all around the world. It's timeless stuff. It's really amazing.
We're rich as hell. And,
dude, straight up, huh?
We're rich in experiences,
That's right, man. Filthy rich with experiences and that's all through the blessings of paintball, man. And it's been a wild ride. We've been playing for a long time, and I know you guys still feel like we're just getting started in this thing. We're still got many chapters to write in paintball, which is amazing.
Totally.
Yeah. What's your favorite paintball memory of all time, Skemp? Give it to us. Like, what takes the cake?
Oh man.
Is it an adventure outside of the field, on the field? What was it?
I mean, man, there's so many. Well, if I went on the field, I would say winning World Cup with X Factor was my favorite on the field adventure moment right
Makes
there.
Sense. Totally, yeah, that's a big one.
Dude, huge.
Off the field, huh?
Yeah, there's so many.
Oh man. I would say
the adventures are endless, especially
there was a lot of experiences.
Tros crew,
like Paxton on the island.
Paxton, he's the man.
Shout out to Mike Paxton, one of the greatest.
Sleeping in the van, hiding from him because he's trying to shave your eyebrows off.
Yep.
There was always stories with Pax.
Yeah, he's a land pirate. Yeah, he'll get you.
A land pirate.
Dude, he's the best ever.
Pax on the show, man. Both of them, B and Mike, just an amazing paintball family. They do so much awesome stuff for the entire community.
And they did so much stuff for Timmy through the tragedy that happened. B Paxton did this whole fundraising thing, and they're just such great people in the industry. We're so blessed to have them. For the women's community of paintball, we got B, who really has pushed super big boundaries in that specter. And then Mike just dominating on the paintball field and just being a huge voice for paintball is just a legend. Both of them are legends.
Totally.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Got anything else, Ty?
Well, I think that, I got one more thing. What can people do to stay busy and healthy during COVID? I mean, just some little
not enough people are talking about that, right?
Yeah.
Because some people don't have the gym, some people don't have anything. What are some things that people can do?
Great question. So I would say you're limited. Some people have gyms, some don't, right?
Yeah.
Two things. Number one, get exercise in. Try to make it a goal to break a sweat. Once a day, break a sweat, whether that's going to be a hike, whether that's going to be a run, whether that's going to be a living room, full body workout, whatever it is, break a sweat once a day. That'll help get your heart rate going, get you some cardio, get the body moving, right?
Yeah, totally.
Number two, drink more water. Not a lot of people drink enough water. How much water should you drink? You should drink a minimum of a half an ounce per body pound. All right. So if you're 200-pound male, you should be drinking 100 ounces. Now you can drink more, and you should drink more.
How many ounces are in a gallon?
120 something.
Oh, okay. So a gallon a day is good.
A gallon a day is great. And the more active you are, the more you sweat, the more water you should drink, especially when we're out there playing paintball, right?
For sure.
A ton because we're sweating a bunch. But drink a little more than the half ounce per body pound is good. You want more water to keep hydrated. So, for us, a gallon plus a day is great. Most people don't drink enough water. So tips to drink more water. is to always have water with you. So like I
For
started
sure.
the show, before we hopped on, I filled this up completely so that I had access to water the whole time so that I can drink water. From start of the day till the end of the day, I always have water with me. If I leave the house, I'm going to have some sort of canister with me with water. People
Yeah.
find they don't drink enough water when they go long periods of the day without access to it, right? So if
Yeah.
you leave the house and you're going to run errands, bring water with you. If you're around the
Yeah.
house, have a glass of water by you. Have it always full so you can always just sip that through the day. Not only is it going to keep you hydrated, keep you healthy, help your body burn more fat as well. But that's a big thing that not a lot of people realize. Drinking more water helps you burn fat. And
Yeah.
the last part about it is it's going to help you eat less. So if you're bored
Yeah.
eating and you're around the house just snacking on food in the cupboard, drinking a lot of water is going to help keep you feeling full, and you're less likely to binge down a bunch of chips and junk.
Dude, I can't lie. That method doesn't work for me. I keep drinking the water and I'm still thinking about the stuff in the cupboard.
But he's
Man,
right, Scott. Dude, you're so right. We are water people. If you don't know that, you are a water being. Your muscles, everything about you needs water. So
yes, yeah.
yeah, we gotta be. Water needs
Also,
to be number one.
honestly, great ways to boost your immune system. Vitamin C and zinc, two very important vitamins that a lot of people don't get enough of.
That's true.
There's been a lot of studies. Vitamin D is also really important, and so if you could get it from the sun or from some kind of supplement, especially with respiratory illnesses, it has been proven to help the body fight those off and keep the immune system strong. So now, in a time like this, now more than ever, we need to have these strong immune systems. And a lot of that is trying to get outside, get some exercise, socially distanced, of course, and make sure you're eating good nutrition, getting the right vitamins and taking care of the inside of your body. Because when you're eating just garbage, your immune system fails. It doesn't have anything, valuable put in there. So, and that's again why COVID is attacking people with diabetes. It's attacking people with poor eating habits. That is what it's doing, and obviously
Yeah.
there's other underlying conditions that are also being affected, but diabetes is a big one. And, a lot of that is directly correlated to diet. So fix what you guys are putting in your bodies. That's not being talked about enough, in my opinion. People are just saying, oh, stay inside and don't do anything, wear your
So
mask.
true. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like I agree. Yeah, let's wear our mask when we go out and stuff, but let's we're banning all sorts of stuff. Why haven't we banned soda machines in places yet? It's kind of crazy because that is a terrible thing to be putting in your body over and over. And don't get me wrong, I love a ice cold Coca-Cola every now and then, but you have to do things in moderation and really start thinking about taking care of yourself. And people aren't talking about that enough, but you can take action today to boost your immune system and help fight this thing internally, and even make it to where you never get it because your immune system does its job in the first place and doesn't allow you to contract it if it is in close proximity. So take care of
So
yourself,
true,
man.
dude. Yeah, the money that you're going to spend on that food that maybe is a little bit more expensive for organic or, those health conscious decisions, you're going to save in the long tail on not having to pay those doctor's bills and all these things. It all comes full circle, and you are what you eat. Essentially, you got to be putting in that proper fuel. Like Scott said, you got to fuel the body properly to get those results. You don't put that low octane in a Ferrari, you got to put that good stuff in there to get the results out of that Ferrari. So really take care of yourselves and make sure that nutrition and water are number one, and everybody just stay safe out there and, keep having fun with it. Keep playing paintball and enjoying our lives. And, this is all going to pass. Everything will pass and we'll be back to normal. We'll be back on the fields here in no time.
I love it. Scott, you have anything else
Couple
for us?
weeks.
No. I'm just stoked to be on here and have
Dude, we love you. We love you. I know.
for having me.
Of course.
Been
Scott,
too
where
long.
can thank you so much for coming on and sharing all that knowledge. Your story is awesome. Everything you do inside and outside of paintball is amazing. Where can people find you if they want to get in touch about fitness, whatever it is, maybe they want to have you out for a clinic, or want some advice?
Message me on Instagram or Facebook. My Instagram handle is Skemp, and Facebook is just my name, Scott Kemp. So they can message me on either one if they want to get a hold of me for anything. Yeah, whether if it's just some random fitness questions, I get those all the time, and I'm always trying to reach out and share knowledge and answer any questions that I can. So feel free to reach out.
Yeah, dude,
Awesome,
you hold
dude.
an amazing space in the paintball industry with like all the knowledge that you know about that kind of stuff.
Totally. Hey, and also don't forget to email him with the subject
Yeah.
of the game for the performance
for
book.
all you
Yeah,
guys.
it's a really solid ebook. So
So hold on. Let's drop that email one more time for them so that they know what to do.
So email me at scottkempfitness@gmail.com.
Perfect.
In the
And then-
title, play the game, and I'm going to
Yep.
reply back with a free book.
Dude, that's major.
That's awesome.
Major.
yeah,
Love that.
Scotty K, baby, thank you, dude. One of our teammates, one of our really good friends, and just an awesome dude. We appreciate you, man, and we'll have to have you back on soon.
All right. Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
baby.
Peace.
Thanks, Scotty.
See you later.
Later, bro. Oh, yeah. That was amazing. Huge shout out to Scott Kemp. Absolutely love that dude. Had the best time ever talking with him. And thank you to everybody out there who continues to support Play the Game podcast. We love you more than you'll ever know. You guys are the air in our lungs, the blood in our veins. This is all for the love of the game and for the culture of paintball. We love paintball, and we want to make sure that it has its heritage and its lineage and continues to carry on into the future with a lot of power. And that's what we're here to do, play the game. So thank you guys. You can head over to ptgpodcast.com and you can support the show over there. We really appreciate everybody logging in and supporting us. We have all the podcasts on there. Our YouTube shows as well as are on there. The partners that we work with, you can get more information about them. And if you want to pick up some Play the Game podcast merch, we have our store there as well. And huge shout out to our Patreons, man. You guys don't even know how much you hold a special place in Marcelo and my heart, and we want to bring you guys the absolute best content in the world through Patreon, through the show, through our Instagrams, every way that we can get you paintball knowledge and just fun paintball content. We're bringing that to you guys. So thank you. Huge shout out to everybody supporting on the Patreon. This website is brought to you by ConstantPursuit.com. Rusty Glaze, our coach for Dynasty, he builds the greatest websites in the world. If you are a paintball store or a paintball field and you want to have a premium product to give to your customers and get people coming to the field or in the store, you need to hit up Rusty at ConstantPursuit.com. He is just knocking it out of the park. You can go to our website and check out our website and see the work that he does. Really sharp stuff. You can go to, once again, PTG Podcast and take a look at that, ptgpodcast.com, and you can see Rusty's work on there. Rusty is just an amazing dude. He's always going to be there for you if you need help with your website, day or night. I know that we can always rely on him, and everybody that he works with, they would say the same thing. Just an outstanding guy, and if you want to help him out, go to ConstantPursuit.com, and he can build you a phenomenal website. If you ever have any questions you want to give to us, DM us at our Instagram, Play the Game Podcast, and we'll try and get those questions on the show. Once again, thank you so much to everybody who tunes in. We absolutely love you, and we hope you have a great rest of the week and a great weekend.